after high school, I went to Israel for a couple of years, 2.5 years. First half year, I was just tooling around with my high school class and just touring and things like that. And then after that, I was in yeshiva for 2 years. And the whole time, I was pretty much stationed in Jerusalem. I did a little bit of traveling, in that first half year. I mean, I did a lot of traveling the whole 2 years, but I lived other places those first 2 years. This first semester, re-record. No, I'll just keep going. So we commiserated about Israel. And we also got into a talk, and this is what I'm going to name the episode after, about his views on the Palestinian-Israeli conflict are really different than mine. It's not as different simply as saying he's the pro-Palestine side and I'm the pro-right side. It's more in depth than that. He's a peacenik. He believes in Semitism, that's something that unites all Arab people, including us, Jews and Arabs together, against the whites and blacks. So it was interesting to talk about, but we got into all of a discussion about what Israel was like and all the different things, and then we really centered on, for a while, on that peace stuff. And then we got into what I'll call a preview discussion of the talk I'm going to have with Ralphie May, probably, or someone else, about what it's like to be super fat. And it got a little serious, but not really. So anyway, it's really fun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank, episode 53. Maybe I'll Give Pizza a Chance. I'm going to keep thinking about what I'll call it while I'm doing this. But in the meantime, some dates. I have Philadelphia this weekend, Wednesday through Saturday. Then I'm going to visit my parents' house for the second day of Passover, which should be cool. And then I go straight from there to Dallas, 4:12 through 4:15. Then La Jolla for the big 420 weekend show. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to be with Rick Ingram, Freddie Lockhart, and Tony Hinchcliffe. It's a really good show, and we're just going to blast it out and smoke pot like the whole time. So bring everything. Let's just go nuts. It's California. Let's just go nuts. Then I'm going to Moon Tower for the festival in Austin, and then after that, I am going with Tom Segura and Brendan Walsh. We're doing a couple days in Toronto at the Comedy Bar, May 3rd and May 4th. And then right after that, I am hopefully either here or in Philadelphia. I'm taping my CD, either Comedy Works, which is May 10th through the 12th, or in Philadelphia this coming weekend, the 4th through the 7th, April 4th through the 7th. I'm going to tape my CD. It's one of those. I got to get it fucking done. It's driving me crazy. And I've already got like 40 new minutes of other material that I try to get to. So I'm going to have to annoy myself and go over all my old stuff for like a week. I think Denver is probably the place to go. It's one of the best rooms in the country. Anyway, with that being said, that's the stand-up. That's out of the way. By the way, my storyteller show went really well last time. It was really, really fun. Christina Pazitsky was great. The whole show was really a lot of fun. John Caparulo was amazing. The whole thing. It was great. Sponsors. Have I said that before? Here's what I got for sponsors. Instead of having one sponsor, this is what I'm going to do. I have these two sponsors that you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to support their business in any way. It's a pretty great business model for me. So I have Amazon and I have Gamefly. So which one should I do first? Let's do roll the dice. Gamefly. So for Gamefly, if you go to gamefly.com/Ari, right? It's not /Ari Shaffir. If you go to gamefly.com/Ari, and you sign up for a two-week free trial. That's all you have to do is sign up for a 2-week free trial, and I get like a gram of weed. It's pretty much that easy. It's gamefly.com/Ari. It takes you to this other place, and then I don't know. Does that thing work? I have a link on my website. Congratulations, you qualify for the Ari Shaffir 15-day free trial. I think that's what it is. So go to my website. There's a link there, but it's gamefly.com/Ari. And then you just sign up for a 2-week free trial. It costs you nothing, and then you can cancel it afterwards, or you can get it afterwards, whatever you want to do. But I don't want to stress this too little. I get money. Let me try to compare this to something. You know how when Obama won the presidency, he won the election, and it became the first... I know he's mixed race, but let's just call him what we all think. He's the first black man to become the president. And my black friends and black people all over this country sort of had this moment of realization of feeling like accepted, finally accepted in the United States, because one of their own could become the president, the highest office this country has to offer. That feeling that black people had for the week or two after the election, that's the feeling that Jews get when we get money. So go to gamefly.com/Ari, and you can sign up for a 2-week free trial. Doesn't cost you any money, and then I get money. So please do that. Also, if you're going to shop on Amazon at all, go to my website, and there's 2 links there. There's one for Canada and there's one for the United States. America is the top one because, come on, we have more people. But Canada's the second one. But if you just go through there and then buy whatever you're going to buy. You just click that link and it takes you to Amazon and then buy whatever you're going to buy. It doesn't cost you any more or any less, but they give me like a percentage. I don't know what that is. I can't compare it. It might be a gram, might be a joint, which is actually about the same. But yeah, it's one thing I've learned in life, everybody. A gram is about enough to make a real thick joint. Now you know. So go to one of those 2 things and help support this podcast, and then I'll keep being able to do it for free, and your only payment is have to listen to a hoarse Jewish comedian talk about getting him some money. So thank you very much. By the way, Vancouver was amazing. The shows were awesome. People are really coming out, and it makes the show so much better. It makes them so much better when there's cool people around. It makes them so much better. So please come out. If I'm in one of your cities, come out and see the shows. They're really great. I'm really liking what I'm doing on stage right now. So that's it, everybody. Let's start this shit, huh? Yeah, let's call it Give Peace a Chance. Maybe I should call it Israel. Israel, oh Israel, the beautiful. Nah, let's call it Give Peace a Chance. Ladies and gentlemen, Skeptic Tank number 53, Give Peace a Chance with Danny Lobell. Blasting up, whatever. Starting now. I can't do funny things. All right, here we go.
Even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Everything will bring the chain love. In the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright. Love the girl who holds the world in her.
Okay, it's working. Hi.
Hey.
Thanks for coming on.
I
heard about you from Ralphie, too.
Oh, yeah?
You're friends with him?
Yeah. I've been friends with him for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
Open for him a lot on the road.
Wait, what happens with your throat? It closes up when you smoke pot?
What happened is, and it might be just because I was doing way too much.
Yeah.
But I started getting severe postnasal drip.
Okay.
And I didn't pinpoint it to the pot at first, but I started doing some research, I thought it was something I ate. And it's like severely bad allergic
It's amazing when you
reaction.
do a little bit of research, you're like, oh, no, that's the problem.
Yeah, and some Google searches, and it said, yeah, this is, something that happens. Some people develop an allergic reaction to marijuana, and I start getting really bad post-nasal drip. So, like, it's terrible as a comedian because I'm always clearing my throat on stage in my act because I keep getting this mucus build up in the back after I, so it's... And it's this
Really?
It's this horrible thing where like you don't feel like your throat is ever really clearing. You just keep constantly clearing it, but you don't have the satisfaction of a clear throat,
Yeah.
So I actually talked to somebody at a dispensary here.
And what did he say?
And he said,
is it like when you do coke?
Yeah, he's like, believe it or not, it's really not that uncommon. He says, I hear about this a lot.
Really?
And he goes, it sucks for you.
Yeah.
But I just fight through it, But it does suck. And like,
Wait, can it seriously close your throat up and make you die?
It won't make you die, but it's very bad when you're getting into the rhythm of your jokes,
Oh, yeah.
And you have to clear your throat.
I have a bunch of cokehead friends, and they're always like, just like all the time, because they've worn out the inside of their nose.
Yeah. It's. I might have abused it, and that's why. But
well, anyway, here's a caramel.
Thanks. I'll probably save it till after my show tonight.
Oh, okay. It takes like an hour to kick in. I don't know how strong they're. So you don't really smoke much? Oh, it's perfect.
Not
You'll
much
have a low
anymore,
tolerance.
yeah.
I figure if you were friends with Ralphie.
Yeah, no, we've had some good times, but
Yeah.
he can't smoke now
I
anymore.
know,
either.
it's so sad. I feel like we lost one.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what it was like when Martin Luther King was shot.
We lost 2, really.
With Ralphie? The amount he smoked?
No, I didn't mean like.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so you were in Israel, huh? How long were you there for? You're Jewish, I guess? You don't look Jewish at all.
I know. So yeah, we're going back 10 years now.
Okay.
I was in Israel. I did a year for college credit and abroad with Young Judea.
What is that? What year was that?
Jewish youth organization, and this was the year of 9/11, 2000 to 2001.
Oh, wow.
And I was in Israel for 9/11.
What was it like there for 9/11?
Beautiful 9/11. I got to tell you, it was wonderful. They did so many nice things for it. No, I was in the dormitories in my at the college in Jerusalem, by Hebrew University.
Yeah,
and it was a beautiful, beautiful day, and like it was also like the height of the Intifada.
Hebrew University.
Yeah,
Hebrew is a cool place.
Yeah, it's a really cool.
Wait, is that the one with all the? Where it looks like it's like an adobe hut, or is that Jerusalem University? Where's Hebrew U?
It's on Harat Sofim.
In Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forget which one's which. Anyway, go ahead.
And it was pretty bad. It was like, there was a lot of terrorist activity going around Jerusalem at that time.
Beforehand, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
what was happening?
There's like a popular street. You might be familiar with Ben Yehuda Street.
Yeah.
So I remember like,
maybe Ben Yehuda Street's where all like the tourists go to hang out, and I guess locals too.
Yeah, like a few weeks prior, I'm walking around at night, drinking,
Yeah.
And there was a pigua, terrorist attack.
Yeah.
Somebody, I saw like body parts on the street. Blood. I got there right. It was like
Really?
okay, block that out mentally and keep walking because like ambulances were there and the army people and everything. And it was,
you just saw body parts.
I saw body parts. I can't even describe what they were now. Like I blocked it out.
You really blocked it out?
I know that it happened. I know what I saw, but I don't. I know that I saw it, but it was a bomb.
Ugh.
It was just like I didn't see any of this. That's not staying in my memory. So I just walked by. There was a hotel I'd been going to, the Orient Express in the Hyatt.
Yeah.
They had a terrorist attack there. Like the one night I wasn't there. It was so there was like a lot to desensitize me, and leading up to 9/11, and just living in Jerusalem. And
so you're already ready with terrorist stuff.
Yeah,
I remember who's that player that played for Connecticut? Some Jewish player. And he was like, I don't think he was Orthodox Jewish or observant of Shabbat, but he played for Connecticut, and I think he ended up playing in Israeli like professional team.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I forget his name, but he had to like explain. No, you know what? It wasn't him. It was somebody else who was playing from Israel, playing in an American college, and he had at 9/11 he had to explain to everybody else like what this is like, how you deal with terrorist attacks, because it happens all the time there.
Yeah, I lost a friend in a bus bombing.
Really?
Like a kid I grew up with.
What happened?
Well, he died in a bus bombing.
Where was it? Gosh.
I don't know. It was on the way to somewhere.
He was there with you?
No, he was there independent of me.
An American?
No, Scottish.
Oh, you grew up in Scotland?
A lot of my childhood I was in Scotland because my mom is from Scotland, and my grandparents and cousins and uncles and everybody in there.
Yeah, you don't have an accent at all.
Yeah.
How did you get rid of it?
I mean, I'm born in America, but I'm just like spent a lot of my summers growing up in Scotland.
Summers. Yeah.
And we were on the swim team together. I mean, Yoni Jesner is his name.
Yeah.
And
he blew a bus with him on it?
Yeah, he passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know? It's like a really horrible thing, to know someone and lose someone like that.
Yeah, just suddenly.
We got deep pretty quick here.
We'll get to it eventually, too, anyway. It was going to happen.
Yeah. So,
So when was that? During your year there, or just...
Yeah. So all these things happened, and then when 9/11 happened, it was like a beautiful day in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on the porch and of the dormitory, just lying down. I had no classes that day. I'm sitting, taking in some sun. Beautiful. And falling asleep. Somebody comes in, they're like, hey, they flew a plane into the Statue of Liberty.
Really? Early reports.
And I was like, all right, whatever.
You're like, nobody went there anyway.
Like,
it wasn't a cool
who cares
place.
about the Statue of Liberty? He's like, you don't want to come in? Like, it's on TV. I'm like, nah, I'll
Just a
catch it
symbol.
later. And
Really?
I didn't care if somebody flew a plane into the Statue of
I
Liberty.
guess it wouldn't matter, especially early when you're like, oh, whatever.
I
It's just
didn't
a thing.
think it was a terrorist attack either. I
Yeah,
thought
no one
somebody,
thought it
just
was.
a plane hit the Statue of Liberty. I was like, well, I never
What
cared
time was
about
it
the
there?
Statue of Liberty.
What is it? 10, 12 hours later?
7 hours
7?
ahead, I think.
So it's late afternoon.
Yeah, so I went to sleep, and I
Really?
passed out like for hours. I fell asleep in the sun. Great sleep, and I woke up like 5 or 6 hours later, and I walked around. The dormitories were empty.
Really?
Like, where the hell is everybody? Like, where is everyone? No one's in their rooms. Nobody's in the lunchroom. I'm like, what the hell? Where is everyone? Is gone. Like in this giant dorm building, not giant but pretty big place. And I go into the moadon, the lounge.
Yeah.
It's funny when you only have a word in your head in Hebrew.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is that?
If it was like Apple, you know how to translate it. But when it's like moadon, that's the only place I've.
It's moadon,
yeah.
you know. And everyone is in this room crowding around the TV. And so,
Yeah.
like, it's starting to piece together in my head that something big happened. And then, like, people just it was, like, surreal. Like, people were like, did you call your family? Are your family okay? I'm like, why would my family not be okay? And they were just playing replays, replays of what happened on the TV, and could not get through to my family for hours because all the
phone lines were down.
Yeah.
And everybody was calling.
Finally got somebody who had a service that got through, and they were okay,
Yeah.
So I was in Israel that year.
Wow. My sister was there during the first Gulf War. And my dad had to go visit her, but there was no like direct flights anymore. So we had to go to like Germany and then fly from Germany to Israel.
Yeah.
But he said that's when everybody had gas masks. They're all worried about
Yeah, my dad's a photojournalist.
Oh, really?
And he used to
cool.
do war photography. So he was there during the Gulf War.
Uh-huh.
So I have like early memories of sitting with my mom in our apartment in Queens watching
the news?
This TV and like praying for my dad to be okay.
Oh, yeah, because the Scud missiles were just hitting randomly.
You just see like missiles and like grainy footage. And my mom's like, that's where that
building's blown up.
He's there. Like she was like scared that she was going to have to be a single mom with me. Like,
really?
She was terrified.
It's so much different in Israel. How everybody has bomb shelters.
Yeah, he had a gas mask and everything. Like it was just, which I think he still has in the house.
My sister said everybody, because you had to carry him around all the time because you didn't know if there was going to be a mustard attack. Gas. Mustard? Was it gas? Yeah. But so since everyone had to carry around.
Developed in World War I.
Oh,
First time they ever used it.
They all started putting like stickers and stuff on them, and like the kids would just like draw on them, on the boxes for the gas mask, because it's like, well, we have to carry these around. We may as well make them look nicer.
Yeah. They didn't have Banksy back then. He could have.
No, they didn't have Banksy. But they all had his boxes they had to carry around, like early cell phones.
Yeah.
They were like strap over your shoulder. It was just like that. So like, I don't know, make it look nice. Put some My Little Pony stuff on there.
Right. Now they'd attach like a little iPod Nano to the inside of it and everything.
Well, what do you think? Let's just get into this then. What do you think about the Palestinian stuff? What about their cause and about them in general?
I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
And, I'm sympathetic to Palestinian people. It's a really tough place to be in, where in terms of making a decision in my head.
Oh,
in terms of being in a tough place in my head.
Yeah.
I have. This sounds like what people say when they don't want to be racist. I have black friends. I have friends that are Palestinian.
Really? From where? Here or there?
Here.
Okay.
And I've always connected really well with Muslims and with Arabic people in general. Like,
yeah, I know. I understand what you're talking about. I connect well with dogs, so it's really similar.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm not going to stay on that. Go. You can keep going.
But
how do you? All right, go ahead.
But because they're ethnic people, you know, they're like Jews. They're I don't connect as much with white people.
Oh, really?
I consider white people. Like, I feel like
They're
such a connection to Arabs and to Jews, and that's just, I think, just in my upbringing and just naturally.
White people are just clear. There's like nothing to them.
I don't.
At least
get
if they're
them.
like super Italian or super Irish, like early generation, like that I get. But just the whites, from Ohio.
I don't understand these whites from Ohio.
Who?
I try to.
What's to you? There's nothing to you.
Yeah, I meet some of them in the comedy world. They come out, and and
They're just white.
they're just white. It's like
Nothing there.
You were like,
No
where are
color.
your emotions? Where are your thoughts? Break out of yourself, white person. You know, but
It's like devoid of all color.
yeah, there's this guy who I became friends with in Williamsburg. Had a falafel shop. Najib was like the most amazing dude ever. He a little backstory on him is that his brother is the #1 oud player.
Oud
Oud.
instrument.
Yeah, the oud. It's like a weird kind of Middle Eastern guitar.
Okay.
This dude is like
The best
a
at it.
superstar of the oud. Like, I think he played Madison Square, not like the main Madison Square Garden, but like
Side
the theater,
row.
you know? He
That's where Russell Peters first played, and was
Yeah.
like, he sold out Madison Square Garden, and people were like, the side room.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, cool, I can handle
I
that.
think he sold out
can
the
handle
side
that.
room.
Yeah,
With the
Still like
oud,
6,000
though.
seats.
With the oud.
Still gigantic.
This
Yeah.
dude is like, you know, I'm trying to think of a reference. Like, he's like the Shakira of oud. Because Shakira is like from another culture, but she transcends. This dude, he's like an
her
incredible
ass.
oud player.
Translates. Yeah.
And he's very rich from it. You know, you got to imagine there's a very small percentage of people that are rich off the oud, but
but they're rich. Like
Yeah.
somebody's into oud.
yeah, this dude made it with the oud. So his brother,
that was in what's it called? In what was that millionaire movie with the guy from My Holland's Opus and the black
Richard
dude.
Dreyfuss?
Yeah, Dreyfus and the main black dude, Eddie Murphy.
I don't know.
Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Dreyfus made all his money making those clear ends for shoelaces that hold them together so you can like thread them.
Yeah,
That was how
okay.
his millions were made.
So yeah, so
It was
somebody's
either
a
that or,
millionaire
like
off of that.
the covers of hangers that you get in dry cleaners.
Yeah. So there's somebody who's a millionaire off everything.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
So this guy's like a millionaire from the oud. And his brother, Najib, who had the falafel
Najib,
shop,
that's a cool name. Yeah.
had like a little Geppetto workshop in the back of this falafel shop where he made custom-made ouds. Like,
Oh, really?
beautiful wood inlaid, you know, just like
In Williamsburg.
in Williamsburg. He had this little like wood craft shop in the back, and it was like the falafel shop was a front for the oud shop. Like the falafel thing was a passion for him. He loved to cook, and he loved to cook for people, but he didn't need the money because you know, he made ouds for his brother. He sold his brother's merchandise and stuff. He was he was pretty financially
So
set.
you liked running a falafel place? That's cool.
He liked this falafel place, but he didn't need a penny from it.
Yeah.
And he turned away customers constantly,
Why?
like
They were annoying?
like a real life soup Nazi type of thing.
Yeah.
But this falafel shop was his revenge on hipsterdom
Why?
and on the neighborhood. So he just
Williamsburg's full of hipsters, right?
he used this place to insult people that he hated
Yeah.
and to pick up chicks because he was he was like 60-something years old,
Whoa.
but he
didn't
was a
picture that.
complete Casanova, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, he got 20-year-old chicks, like beautiful, like you can't imagine.
Yeah.
He just had a way of like hypnotizing women. And he'd bang them in the back of the falafel shop. One time, the place was closed.
Oh, okay.
And
Closed.
he comes. I walk in anyway because, you know, it wasn't locked, but it was closed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought I saw a light on in the back. And Jeeb was banging a chick on the sink.
Wow.
And he's like, Danny, come back later. This dude was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the coolest guy, one of the coolest people I've ever met. And he had all these amazing stories. And some of his stories weren't even stories. It was just the way he told them. Like about a trip to Atlantic City. Like he told me this story about, he goes, you have to go to Atlantic City because it's a really amazing place. He goes,
Yeah.
and he'd go into this whole story about how he picked up a girl at a poker table, and he had leftover seafood that he got comped on the house because he's a regular there.
He put in his fridge in his hotel room?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
brought it up to the room, and he's like, he had like a lobster roll or something, and he managed to bargain a blowjob for the lobster, for the half a lobster roll.
What?
Just because he got a kick out of trading a half a lobster roll for a blowjob, and he goes, and I tell you something, really, I got monumental blowjob from this woman. And that sticks in my head, the words monumental blowjob.
Yeah.
I got monumental blowjob from this woman. And then she asked me to return the favor. I told her no. I'm tired. But if it's destined that we meet again, I will return it for you that time. And I sent her out of my room. And I walked down the beach in Atlantic
That's such
City.
a great way to put it. No, I'm not going to. I'm tired. But if it's destiny and we meet again, then yes, then I'll do it. That sounds so romantic.
Yeah.
It's a romantic way of it, like, oh, no, I'm pretty selfish.
And he said he used words like, I released her from my room. I released her from my room.
Yeah.
And the story, I didn't go into the whole long story, but the story is he won money at the table.
Yeah.
He got this free meal. That was amazing, the lobster roll, and then used the leftovers and got the blowjob. And he goes,
Who's getting a lobster roll for a blowjob?
only Najib.
That's like,
So-
you could do better off that trade for her. You can get more than half a lobster roll. There's like the people that traded fucking Pau Gasol to the Lakers. I'm like, what? For that price, you could have gotten way more for another team.
Yeah. He's like, she was a classy woman.
Oh, yeah.
Rich woman from Miami Beach.
She just wanted that lobster roll.
Yeah, I can't even go into the whole thing with it. But he goes, the end of the story was my favorite thing. He goes, I release her from my room. I go down out of the casino. I walk down the beach in Atlantic City. And the wind is blowing through my hair. My wallet is full. My stomach is full. My dick has been sucked monumentally. I feel like I'm 20 years old. You know what happened? I cut back to New York. I joined the gym at NYU. That was the end of the story.
That was how he changed his life over
Joined
it?
the gym at NYU.
I knew it right there.
So I would just sit there and listen to these stories and be fascinated by them. You
Yeah.
know? I don't know how we got onto this.
Because you like Muslims, you're saying.
Oh yeah. Because of the white people.
Yeah.
So this is why I brought Najib up.
Yeah.
He hated white people.
Oh, yeah.
So he said to me, he says, you're not a white person. You're a Jewish person. I like Jewish people.
Yeah.
He goes, Jewish people have
You
heart.
sound Russian,
They're
by the way.
ethnic people.
This accent sounds Russian.
No, I'm doing my best.
It's great. I'm worse than that. I couldn't even get a specific nationality.
He didn't have a distinctly Arabic accent, though.
Yeah. Where was he from?
He was Palestinian.
Okay.
And, but actually he considered himself Israeli Arab.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And,
Oh, that's a weird situation, too.
Yeah. So
Was he Israeli Arab?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a bunch of people there that were like, that are citizens of Israel that are
Right.
Arab, and they're different than the Palestinians.
But he's
They can
also
vote.
Yeah, I don't know. It's complicated because he said, he had family that's in Palestine, so he was kind of, I don't know. It depended what day I talked to him. He was Palestinian or he was Israeli Arab.
Yeah.
But so this falafel shop, he did it. It wasn't for the money. It was
Right.
like he liked to cook. He liked to have a workshop to make his oods in.
Yeah.
And people would come in, these hipsters would come in, and I'd just sit there for the entertainment of this.
And watch him shit on hipsters.
And they'd walk in with their iPod headphones on
Yeah.
and their skinny jeans, and they'd come up and they would keep the headphones in, like the music you could kind of hear coming out. And they'd say, yeah, let me get a falafel or whatever,
Yeah.
And he'd go, what? Yeah, just let me get a falafel sandwich. What? And then they like take one earbud out and they'd be like, sorry man, I'm saying, can I get a falafel sandwich? No, I heard you all the time. Get the fuck out of here. If you have no respect to take your headphones off to talk to another human being, I don't want to make you any fucking falafel. Do me a favor, dickhead. Get the fuck out of here and don't come back. And they'd be like, what's your problem, man? He
Yeah,
goes,
just
go
kick
back
people
to
out.
white bread America. Go the fuck back to white bread America.
This shit doesn't happen in LA. Everyone's calmer here.
He kicked them out, and then he turned to me, and we just both fucking start laughing.
He just wouldn't need their money. That's so great.
And then he closed the place down. He had a hernia
Why?
problem, and he had to go take care of his mom actually here in LA.
Yeah.
So he sold the restaurant, and he left. And I saw him once again. Actually, I was at the Comedy Cellar. I can't tell this
Why?
It gives away something that I can't tell.
Why?
Of his personal information, I can't
Oh,
tell.
well, tell without telling his personal information.
I can't
You
do
can't
it.
do that.
It's a funny
Fuck.
story, but just I saw him again.
All right, fair enough. Well, so okay, I know. Yeah, there's plenty of this comic here, Aaron Cater, who's Palestinian, and we were friends. But like, I don't know. You don't have any animosity towards the ones there playing a bomb that made you see some body part in the middle of the fucking afternoon.
It's such a difficult situation because, like I said, I lost a friend.
Yeah.
It's very personal for me.
He didn't do anything. He wasn't in the army.
Right.
It wasn't like he was fighting in the front lines. He was just some guy going somewhere, going to visit his family or something.
I equate it to this. I did once.
Those are
I did
animals.
an appearance on a jerky podcast.
Jerky Boys?
No, these
Oh.
just I'm not.
Oh,
I don't want
just
to say who it
jerkish.
is.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
want to reignite a fire, but
All right.
I did an appearance on a podcast, and I felt
they were
these
jerks.
people were jerks and bullies. That's the impression I got.
Who was it?
I'll tell you afterwards. But
Okay. Wait, hold on. I'll put it on pause. I just kind of want to know. Okay, so go ahead. So don't tell me. It's fine.
So I pull a prank on this specific podcast,
Yeah.
and it goes over.
It goes
And
well.
the prank
Okay.
was a success.
Uh-huh.
And then when they realize it was a prank,
Yeah.
they get incredibly angry at me
Yeah.
and start viciously slandering me constantly to their listeners. And the listeners,
Why? Because they don't like being pranked?
yeah,
Oh.
and the listeners, a good chunk of them, I got over 100 people
Yeah.
wrote me saying, after what they said about you and hearing the whole thing, I stopped listening. Whether they did or they didn't stop
After
listening.
what they said about you,
Yeah,
I
they
stopped listening to that podcast.
to that podcast because it was just unnecessary and they couldn't take a joke and it was vicious.
Okay.
But the vast majority of their listeners, like sheep,
Oh, yeah. They'll
took
just be
their
like, well,
side.
if you
And-
tell me not to like this guy, I guess I won't.
and they just
Like
they
stern
started,
listeners.
yeah, exactly, and they started hating on me and.
It's like anybody. Make your own decisions. You're
and
not going to...
I was so perplexed by it. I was like, to me, it made perfect logical sense.
What was the prank? You can't even tell me what
Pause
the
it
prank
again.
is?
Pause it again.
All right. That's fair. Why you're not going to tell me. Go ahead, though.
So, so I was just amazed at these people because it was logical that what I did was funny, and to a lot of people, it was perfectly clear and logical.
Yeah.
Even their listeners that wrote me that were of, rational decision-making minds,
yeah.
I thought. But it was just amazing how the rest of them just bought into the crap. And
Yeah.
and I feel that way anytime you're in a group situation and you're not challenged to question what you're told.
Yeah.
It's very easy to believe the lie or whatever it is. And
What do
in
you
the
mean?
case of the Palestinians,
Uh-huh. Okay.
a lot of Palestinians are raised from a young age to believe that Jews are evil,
Yeah.
Israelis are bad, Israelis are there.
Do you remember seeing that Mickey Mouse cartoon they had?
I do, yeah.
God. It's
So
like this Mickey Mouse telling them, like, kill the infidel.
right.
Convincing little kids.
So I mean, when something in
You can't get mad at me for comparing them to dogs favorably.
I don't like it because
When you see things like that, you're like, dogs are way better than that.
no, I don't like it.
You're
Because-
educating the youth to hate and violently.
Yeah, but I wonder how much of it is their fault.
All right, but that's like
I wonder-
it's like saying like, well, this guy got molested, so that's why he's a molester. It's like, okay, it sucks when he gets molested when he's 11, but when he's 31, fucking other kids, you're like, no, fuck you.
When you're in developmental years of your life, and
Yeah.
the people that you trust and look up to
Yeah,
are telling
the
you
wrong thing.
are telling you a certain thing, it would take so much to
Sure.
shake that.
It's like
and,
raising a pit bull to be an attack dog.
and you're also living in a world like the Truman Show. You're living
Yeah.
in a bubble in Palestine,
Yeah, all you hear
where
is
your
bubble.
whole world is these people are evil. I can't look at myself and think I would be any better if I grew up in that. How I'd like
Yeah,
to
no, you
think
wouldn't be any
that I would-
better.
no, but I would like to think that I would be smart enough
No,
or
you wouldn't.
whatever to. But I don't know that
You
I would.
wouldn't. If you were over there, you'd be a pirate if you were in, what's it
Exactly.
called?
I might be brainwashed myself. So these extremists, I cannot point a finger at one of them and say, you are bad. Because you are not bad in your mind, you're good.
Oh, of course,
In your
but
mind,
they're
you're
bad.
doing what you were raised and taught, and just because you didn't have the intuition to challenge it,
I guess it's not the same as somebody thinking, like deciding on their own to do this stuff. Mm-hmm. But who cares? They're just bad people at some point.
And there's enough evidence with what goes on.
So the
If you're
people that-
ignorant,
Yeah.
and you see like Israeli people have just bombed something,
Yeah.
and it's out of context.
Yeah.
That's evidence to
Yeah,
reaffirm
absolutely.
that what you were taught as a kid from the people that you love and trust
Is right.
true. So here
So when you
are.
see 9/11 happen, you're like, well, that guy who did that, you know, he was just taught wrong. You don't think, what a fucking asshole?
I don't believe that
You
there
don't
are,
at least think, what an asshole?
No,
To
I-
fly a plane
I
full
don't.
of people into a building full of people?
because I don't believe that there are bad people. I really don't.
Yeah.
I believe that people are conditioned.
All right.
I think it's
So
more
are there bad
more
actions?
nurture. I think that one man a terrorist attack is a heroic act to another man. So if I thought in my head that this guy
Yeah.
was doing this because he hates people
Yeah.
and he loves killing people,
yeah.
and he loves making families cry forever, and that's his thing.
Yeah.
Sure, I'd say he's an evil person. But if I looked at it the other way around and say it's an American person,
Yeah.
and we've been taught that this society is evil, and you can be a hero like Independence Day
Like
and fly
killing,
your
like,
ship into their
1,000
ship
of 'em?
and blow it up because you're going to be a hero for your people.
Yeah.
Are you a bad person now? It's all in perspective, you know? It's a different
Oh,
perspective.
yeah. Like in Independence Day, we blew up that whole...
We blew up the whole thing.
But a lot of those people are just workers.
Right.
Just like the Death Star stuff
Yeah.
from Clerks.
I always
a lot
think
of
that
people
in
are
a
just workers.
when
they,
I
they
watch
didn't do anything wrong.
I watch an action movie. Almost every action movie you have a scene.
You get some random people being killed,
Right.
and you're like, wait, you didn't even do anything. You're just there working as a guard.
That guy works in the factory.
Yeah, you go home every day.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Now
Yeah.
the good guy is a bad guy to me.
There was some Schwarzenegger movie where he was like bodyguarding for somebody.
Yeah.
And he had to kill a bunch of people. But like, this guy's just working on the elevator.
Right.
I know he's got guard, but it's
Yeah.
like he clocks in and out.
Yeah, that's
his neck
I
snapped.
always this guy just went to work. He doesn't know he works for an evil corporation. He's an elevator dude.
Yeah.
He has a family to support at a minimum wage, and he shows up and he's just murdered by the good guy in the movie.
No, they make
and
more than
nobody
minimum wage.
acknowledges.
They probably make like 25 an hour.
I love that. That's your argument.
I'm just saying, let's not get the facts wrong. They probably made a decent living. If they trust you with an Uzi around their princess, they're going to pay you a little bit.
But you know, people. I love that. You argue. Nah, he's making more money than you think,
ain't
buddy.
minimum wage, bro.
This
ain't-
guy's
this ain't
doing
a
pretty
toll
well.
booth.
Let's not shed a tear for elevator guy, okay? He's got a Toyota Corolla at home and a nice sprinkler system.
I know what you mean, but then it's like you see horrible actions and you're like, I mean, yeah, be a hero. I don't know. There's something to attacking an army. When you're just attacking citizens, you're like, what is this? It's like, ugh.
Yeah, but what is it in their head? Is it
Yeah,
I'm going out to
they
kill
think
innocent
that, obviously
people
they think
today,
they're doing something right, but then it's like
or
it's your
I'm-
responsibility to overthink that a little bit. Like, wait, these are just innocent civilians.
Right.
I'm not supposed to be killing them.
But even Schwarzenegger doesn't do that in the movie. Even the people that write
At least
those
they're holding
movies,
a gun.
But at least the people in those movies
Yeah.
that are writing these movies and putting this out there, they're not even thinking about that. You know, they're not even thinking that innocent guy being killed now makes the hero a villain.
Yeah.
And that's going out.
Okay, but if
like
the World Trade
mass
Center
distribution
continues,
in Hollywood,
it's not going to kill anybody. If the Death Star continues, yeah, it's going to kill like planets.
right.
So like, sorry, but you're working on a fucking bomb factory. Like when Israel blows up a bomb factory, I'm like, well, if people are there,
Right. It's
can
a
you
tough.
do?
It's so I don't have an answer for you really on where I stand because it's too complicated for me to comprehend.
Yeah.
I wrestle with it constantly.
I've seen bad shit too, man, and it's like, I don't want to get into it, but it's like when you see that, you're like, what the, what kind of, that's not a person.
Right.
That's fucking subhuman.
But then what if you tell yourself, okay, what if it is a person? Let me try and figure out what's going on in that person's head.
Okay, that's fair. And
Yeah.
and they're thinking we just have to kill as many Israelis as possible. But here's the situation. Under Arafat, the PLO, their point was to drive the Israelis into the sea. They didn't want to live peacefully. They wanted to drive all the Israelis into the ocean.
Bad goal.
Yeah, it's like
That's a bad goal.
I don't care if it's because you were raised a certain
But
way.
you're saying they. Now you're talking about everyone.
The Palestinian
You're
Liberation
generalizing.
Organization,
Right.
In their ideals, in
Now,
they're written
there are
down in their
innocent civilians-
bylaws.
There are innocent civilians there too.
Yeah, but if you sign up, but we don't want to drive them into the sea. We just want
Right.
them not to drive the
Right.
Israelis in.
But do they know that? Or have they been?
Yes, they should know that at this
they
point.
They should, but or have they been taught to believe something else?
No, nobody. They don't think that. They don't think we want to exterminate them all.
That's such an assumption.
No, we don't. They don't. They just don't think that. That's just not something they think. They think we're making their lives harder. That's extermination is not anything we've ever said about them.
Yeah, not that
they would
we've
never
said,
think that.
But what about the people who are trying to influence them?
They would never say that either. They say we might infiltrate them and marry them off and ruin their religion. Nobody,
so they would never dare say that we're trying to. You're
not a lie that's been started. They just haven't done that.
How do you know what lies have been started?
Because it's not gotten out ever. It's not gotten out. They have public radio and television. Stuff gets out.
So you're saying
that's never gotten out.
You've monitored.
No, but that's never gotten out. I've seen other things. I've seen where they say the Israeli is evil and stuff like that.
Okay,
there's never been anything else where they say we're trying to exterminate them all.
When you say the word evil, isn't that all encompassing? Doesn't the evil imply okay? They also want you dead.
No, but we don't want them dead.
Right, but do they know that?
Yeah, they know that.
You're positive.
Yes, I'm positive. I'm positive about that.
You're positive?
That's not gotten out. That's not a lie they've started wholesale. That's not something they've started. Maybe one or two people might have said that, but that's not something that's gotten out there.
They haven't started that lie wholesale.
No, they haven't. They have said that we're the Israelis, the Jews, are the infidels. America is a problem. They've said stuff like that.
Okay.
But they have never said that Siberia is going to fucking burrow underground and come up through Palestine.
So you don't feel that there's any threat in their mind of extermination?
No, they think we might drop a bomb on them eventually, but that's the result of them fucking bombing us. They say if we continue, they might eventually just come down on us, but we don't ever do it, so they don't ever think that.
Wait a minute,
we would have done it by now.
Things. You just said they do think that
if we drive them far enough,
and they
must think that's a possibility. They must think like, oh, well, if we should be careful because Israel has a bomb and they have a lot of power, they could just fucking wipe us out. They don't do it. Because no, that's not a lie they've started. That's just not a lie they've started. That's just not. That we will take them away from being Muslim or Christian or whatever they are. Yeah, they've started that. That we're evil inherently.
So we're looking. So in their heads, you're saying we're looking to exterminate them through their identity, through their religious identity, instead of as
maybe that
physically.
Maybe that.
So it's still a threat of extermination.
Yeah, I guess
it's still them feeling they're going to get wiped out. It's always
their Muslim identity is going to get wiped out.
It's always two groups, and one group feels these motherfuckers are here to wipe us out. You know, even Nazi Germany, there was propaganda going around that the Jews are here to take over Germany.
Right.
They're going to take away your German identity.
Right.
They're going to take away the glory of you being a German.
Right.
There's always a threat on both sides being planted into people's heads. Those motherfuckers are here to wipe you out. Whether it's
so that everybody's
your identity,
good?
religious identity, or if it's a physical manifestation.
But there's two people in Palestine, and one says, okay, they're going to wipe us out, our identity, we've got to do something. And the other says, okay, we should do something, but we can't just kill innocent civilians.
Okay, so
that's not the answer.
One is a rationally minded thinker who's probably not going to commit a terrorist
attack. And one's a dirty fucking animal. One's a type of person, like in Boston, that just fights because you bump into somebody at a bar because they're fucking shithead meatheads.
Yeah.
I don't like those people. Those are bad people. People don't think things out. Those are less people in my book.
So there are.
I wish they would all die.
I agree with you that there are people who don't think things out and have bad intentions.
Yeah. And this is just like child rapists.
I don't know what caused them to have these bad intentions. That's my curiosity is where these bad intentions stem from. Why do they have bad intentions? You know, why are these people in Boston ready to fight? Is it because they grew up in giant Irish families where they got no
1 month
love
of fucking warm weather?
Their dad beat the crap out of them as a kid.
Probably. They should have beat harder. Maybe killed them.
I don't think people are born into nurturing good families very often and then ready to fuck you up when you bump into them. People who are well educated and well taken care of as kids.
Nah. I grew up with some of those people too.
I think
they were well educated.
I think it's a rarity, if anything.
Yeah,
it's an exception to the rule.
Yeah, dumber people.
Norm. Yeah, there's
less worthy humans.
There's definitely people of lesser intelligence. Yeah,
lower social economic status.
You're so angry.
The undesirables of humanity. Yes, those people are the types that do that more often.
Okay.
I believe a little bit in eugenics. I'm like, get rid of these people, the fucking horrible ones. When those people in North Carolina were like, I can't believe they against my will, they sterilized me. And I'm like, what? Maybe they should have. How many of your kids are on death row right now?
Yeah.
7 of the 40 that you have?
Yeah.
Maybe you should stop fucking and having kids.
There's something
trusted yourself.
There's something to that, but I think there's probably a better good in restructuring the society.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we should do that.
Rather than wiping them out.
Absolutely. But like the ones that are there now, what are you supposed to do with them? The ones that are planting bombs and blowing up your friend on a bus.
That's why I told you. I don't have an answer. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I knew, but if I knew, I'd be probably one of the smartest people in the world because some pretty heavy hitters have been trying to figure this out for a long time.
That's what I heard some politicians say this once about the Middle Eastern conflict. They're like, the problem, especially when it hit America, they said the problem is we fight under different sets of rules as they do. If we attacked Canada and they drove us back and they took over North Dakota and South Dakota, at some point we'd surrender. Yeah, no big loss. I don't know. I've never been there. At some point, we'd surrender and say, okay, stop. Take North Dakota. We'll take South Dakota back.
Right.
We surrender because we're going to lose too much
They're fighting to
money
the death.
and space. Yeah,
There's no one tapping out.
They're fighting because God told us to kill you. So it's like it doesn't matter how far we've been driven back. God still told us to kill you.
That's a problem.
Yeah, so it's like there's no negotiating at that point. You can't negotiate with God said.
Yeah. Definitely a problem.
The Palestinian Christians are so much nicer and more well-behaved than the Palestinian Muslims. Outlaw Muslim. That should be the thing. Outlaw Muslim.
The way they were raised. It's in the environment they were raised. They were raised in Israel. They could see firsthand.
So were the Christian Palestinians. They're in nice areas. They put their money in schools and hospitals.
Right, that's my point.
Why?
We're saying the same
way
thing.
They were raised, yeah.
We're saying the same thing. I'm saying they were raised around Israelis.
Yeah.
They can form stronger, better opinions.
These are West Bank and Gazan Palestinians. They're raised around themselves. They just have Christianity.
You keep talking about different people than me.
Christian Palestinians.
Okay.
Not Israeli.
Not
Arab Israelis. Christian
Arab
Palestinians.
Israelis.
Yeah.
Christian
the ones that are Palestinians that observe Christianity.
Okay, well, they're following a different set of rules, right?
Yeah.
So they're being raised differently and they're being taught different things.
Yeah, they're really similar things, though. Love God, love each other.
Right. There's more love and less hate.
Yeah, way, I guess. Turn the other cheek.
So,
But Muslim has the same ideals, don't they?
I mean, everybody's really
Being
working
kind.
off some kind of guidebook, right?
Yeah.
Whether your guidebook is the Bible or your own guidebook that you've made based on your own decisions in life and what you've learned from them.
Those same Israeli kids, Palestinian Christian kids are seeing the same TV that the Palestinian Muslim kids are. And they're fucking handling their business.
Yeah.
I'm really just starting to think now everybody should outlaw Muslim. Just full on war and wipe it out.
I don't think so, no.
There's too much bad that comes out of it. It's like when you have let's say there's a weight loss pill and the problem is like, well, it causes heart failure, so we can't allow that. I'm like, well, it does some good.
There are so many people who are Muslim that are beautiful people.
Yeah.
That have seen the beauty in Islam.
Yeah,
and
but if
not
it's too dangerous.
and not the bad dark
it's something
stuff.
that's too dangerous though. Like just like those pills. Like this might help a lot of obese people become like healthier. Like yes, but if it's one heart attack out of a million, we can handle that. If it's 18 out of a million, now we're getting too much and we can't allow this to be legal.
Okay.
At a certain point, it's like, how many things are they going to do wrong before we're like, that's not allowed? Like in France and Bulgaria, they outlawed the burqa. They said, I don't care what your religion is, that's demeaning towards women.
Yeah.
And we can't allow them to be persecuted, regardless of whether they think they should be.
I'm a big fan of re-education instead of wiping people out.
Oh, yeah, they could do that, I guess. Take them all away and replant them somewhere.
I think
so they can be separated.
Well, just try and make an aggressive attempt to inform people and open up their minds.
Israel does that. They drop leaflets on people all the time.
Well, I don't know if it's effective.
They tried. No, it's not.
Yeah. Maybe take a bunch of
there.
people away to a special summer camp where they get to learn about where their eyes are opened up to the greater world. I grew up.
Yeah.
I went to yeshiva.
Yeah, me too.
As a kid, and I only knew that world. I didn't have cable television.
Yeah.
Rarely went to the movies.
Yeah.
I went to school at 7 a.m. I got home.
Where'd you go to school?
The Hebrew Academy of Long Beach.
Okay.
Got home at like 7 p.m. Did my homework. Went to sleep year after year. For a long time.
Yeah.
I had no reference of pop culture. I still don't. Like people always.
You were a virgin.
For a while. Not anymore. But to the point that when I got into comedy, and I was 15.
Yeah. You started at 15?
Yeah, I was like almost 16, okay?
Yeah.
All right?
Okay. That's way better.
I literally, the only reference to stand-up comedy I knew that Jackie Mason, I'd heard the name Jackie Mason, is a comedian.
Yeah, super Jew.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'd never seen him perform. We met him once on the street or something, but...
Yeah.
And the only time I'd ever seen stand-up comedy performed, to my memory, was on the little clips in Seinfeld in between the commercial
the worst
breaks.
parts of Seinfeld where they eventually just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah,
this is stupid.
that they cut out.
Half a joke.
So that, to me, was
Yeah.
the only reference to stand-up comedy. This whole world that
Oh,
we
really?
exist in, the stand-up comedy world,
Yeah.
did not exist to me. And the first time I did a show at a comedy club at Stand Up New York was a Jewish comedian show that showed up in the Jewish Week, a contest.
Really?
Funniest Jewish comedian contest through the Jewish Week, through the world that I was in the bubble that I was in.
Yeah.
Something seeped through,
Yeah.
and I was blown away.
By what it was?
Blown away that there was an establishment dedicated only to comedy.
Yeah.
Because up until then, I'd been doing open mics at Starbucks. I was the only comedian on the open mics. It was poets and musicians. I literally believed in my head that I was one of the only comedians in the world. There was me and Seinfeld. I thought when I went to that contest, I really thought I was going to meet Seinfeld and I was going to show him what I've been doing. And
Yeah,
he'd be like,
everybody's
wow, there are
got
two
that
of us
stuff.
now, or three of us. Like Jackie Mason was going to. I was
And
so.
the circle is complete.
Like, I was like, I thought when I got there, they were going to be like, we've been waiting for you, other comedian. We built you a home. Look at this. I did not. So that's how sheltered I was.
Right. You didn't know things.
And once I left that world
Yeah.
and got a grasp of the whole world,
Yeah.
it changed
Yeah, you
the way I
understand more.
thought. It changed the way I calculated things in my head. And
There's a lot there in Israel too, where it's like it's not. They're right, like you said. Like there's no easy answer. Like they started stopping. Israel started stopping. They used to have these checkpoints. Well, they still have the checkpoints to search for weapons and stuff. Just like we have DUI checkpoints in places where there's gonna be a lot of DUIs. You set up a checkpoint. You catch every few people to dissuade everybody from doing it. So you stop and search everybody for weapons, and they started searching ambulances for weapons. But they used to let the ambulances through because they said, you know, you got to go. You're in an emergency, so we're just
Right.
not going to check you. But then the Palestinians started smuggling weapons on ambulances.
Yeah.
So then they said, oh, fuck, well, now we got to stop ambulances. And people are like, well, these people are dying. They're on their way to hospital. And it's like, yeah, I
found
know.
a-
That's a terrible answer. We would love to let everybody go.
yeah, it's a tough
But-
situation. They found a loophole in the system. Now, if you're trying to get anything accomplished, whether it's good or bad,
Yeah.
and something's standing in your way,
Yeah.
and you can find a loophole, you're going to take it.
Yeah, I guess.
So you got to look at it from that
But
rational
then it's
point
like,
of
but
view
then it's
too.
like those Palestinians are putting their people in danger.
It's that important to them.
Yeah, I guess so. Just to get those weapons over there.
It's like, look, we have a mission.
Yeah.
We have to save the world. We're Independence Day right
so we
now.
can kill some of our own people. in
We're
order to do that?
Independence Day right now. We might have to kill Will Smith,
Right.
but we got to save the world.
Yeah.
That's the mentality. So it's like, if this dude dies, he died in a noble way.
Yeah, but what you're talking about now is like if a lion kills somebody and like, well, that's just how he's raised.
Lions kill things every day.
Yeah, I know. They're subhumans.
They're not.
They don't
well,
have thought processes to rethink things.
But, you know,
Muslim Palestinians.
but it's
God.
also a matter of exposing people
yeah,
to,
whatever.
to different philosophies and different thoughts and opening up their mind. You know,
How are you
if
gonna-
you live in that bubble that
How are
I
you gonna
lived
open
in,
up their mind? How are you
if
gonna get
you
through to
lived
those
in that bubble that
people?
I lived in,
Yeah.
that I thought I was one of the only comedians in the
You
world.
figured out though that you weren't one.
Right,
By
but I was
little experience.
allotted
So what
that
is it- how do you get through
opportunity
them?
because I
Internet?
live in a free country and
Yeah.
I was able to easily leave one world for another.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a wall
They have access-
around
they
the
have
Jewish
access to the
community
internet.
and my whole world was propaganded
Yeah.
in a way that, you know, that comedy, I couldn't get to that comedy club. There was no ad in the Jewish Week,
Yeah.
and there was a barrier between me and the rest of the world,
Yeah.
and no one was getting to me.
Yeah.
Am I to blame for not knowing that there's all these comedians out there?
Right. It's not your fault, but you're still an idiot.
Or am I just uninformed and living in a different reality?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But those people are not completely uninformed. They're making decisions. They have the internet now. We didn't have that. They have television now.
Yeah, some of them might have the internet.
Yeah.
And some of those internet sites might
I get
be
it.
blocked.
They're
you
sort
know?
of
I mean,
brainwashed into doing it. It might not be their fault they're doing it, but it's like at some
You-
point you're like, still, you're a problem. It's like putting a dog down when it
Think-
bites too many people. It's like, well, it was trained to be an attack dog. It's like, yeah, who cares what the problem is? He's an attack dog.
Yeah, but then how
I'll
do you
keep
know who
going
the
back to
attack
being-
dogs are and who
I'll
aren't?
keep going back to being a child
who
molester.
are the attack dogs, and to what extent are they allowed? Would you
So
allow?
how can you re-educate them?
Yeah, how many people? To
How are you
what
gonna
extent would you
re-educate
allow somebody the opportunity to say, "Look, before I put down this dog,
Yeah.
let me take it to an obedience class and see if it's willing
But we
and
can't
able
put
to
them in
learn."
obedience classes.
Maybe we haven't figured out. I mean, I hate using dog terminology because I just don't like referring to people as dogs. I know that I know where you're coming from with it.
Yeah.
And I know that it's not. I know that it's not just a place of.
We can go with dogs or child molesters. I prefer dogs because I think it's more apt.
Those are the options I have.
Because child molesters have a sickness inside them they can't shake. So I think these people are can shake it, right?
I think
it's not
so.
like child molesters where it's like no matter what they do, they need pills or something. It can't work.
Yeah.
Dogs can be retrained,
Right.
but we don't do it. What are you going to retrain them all the Palestinians? Hopefully the internet gets there and it helps, but I don't know. It's like when you're super brainwashed, when you're brought into that culture, and your parents teach. It's the same thing with racism in America.
You've never lived in Ramallah, right?
No.
You've never immersed yourself into that culture and seen what it's really like from the inside.
No.
Now,
That's true.
Turkey, which is considered a fairly liberal country with a big Muslim population,
Yeah.
banned YouTube.
Oh,
This is
really?
maybe 2 years ago, because it had to do with something to do with the Kurds, and there was a
wow,
video
really?
that was pro-Kurd or anti-Kurd. I don't know that much about the inner politics, but to really sound intelligent with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
How hot that girl is.
there was a message.
You see her across the street?
No, I don't. Oh
You see
yeah.
her now?
Oh yeah.
This is February. And she's wearing a little mini sundress, a black sundress.
Yeah.
And she's just super hot.
Beautiful.
And it's February, and she's walking around. God, this place is great, L.A. Go ahead.
So that's considered a fairly liberal country.
Yeah.
There was a message on YouTube
So they banned all of YouTube?
that they did. The Turkish government didn't like. It promoted an idea about the Kurdish people.
Yeah.
They didn't want this idea seeping into the general consciousness of the
So they just
Turkish
said,
people.
we'll get rid of the whole
They said to YouTube,
messenger.
They said to YouTube, ban videos that I think it was pro-Kurd videos, or
We take the
we
whole thing
ban
off.
YouTube from Turkey.
And YouTube.
And YouTube said
thankfully
we're not. You have freedom of speech on YouTube. You can put whatever you want up.
Bullshit, because my Amazing Racist videos, they keep taking down the Mexican one because they don't get irony, and there's no place to complain and say, no, I did these fucking videos. It's my stuff.
So my point is that Turkey tore down YouTube. Turkey, which is a very liberal and often pro-Israeli country. Not right now, but for a long time supplied Israel with water and helped with desalination and stuff.
Turkey's always a leader in that area.
Turkey has been a very liberal country to ban YouTube. Imagine how much more so
Yeah, you're right. That those people would be.
In
They aren't very liberal
Palestine.
at all.
How much more you can't access in Palestine.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for me to pass a judgment at all in this situation.
Yeah, I guess it's not their fault, but at some point it's like you got to do something.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, what if somebody's gonna blow up a bomb with you on a bus and you see it? Like, what do you say at that point? Like, well, they didn't do anything.
you say fuck.
Yeah, like if you can stop it, they're sitting next to you. You see them trying to put a wire into another wire and attach it so they can ignite something. Do you stop them? You're like, well, this is how you were raised.
You want to know something? I was on a New York subway once, and I was positive that the guy across, I don't remember why, I might have been very high at the time and paranoid. I was positive that the dude across was going to get up and shoot everybody on the train.
Yeah.
Every time the train bumped, I was like, this is the time he's reaching in.
Yeah, you just get an idea.
He's going to fucking
Were you
shoot
high?
everybody, this dude. I think I was.
Yeah,
but
you get paranoid sometimes.
I was like, this guy's going to shoot everybody.
You're
My
positive.
defense mechanism, I try to befriend him.
Oh,
So
really?
I was like, hey, nice jacket, stuff like that, little stuff. So when he snapped, he
wouldn't
would
take
be
you
like,
out.
I'll leave this guy. He likes the jacket. I'm not going to shoot that dude over there. He was pretty nice and conversational. Nobody's ever been that nice to me in my life. That's why I'm about to snap, because nobody ever treated me like a human being, but this guy talked to me. And when I shoot everybody on the train,
I'm gonna not.
that guy I'm not going to shoot.
My friend Ken Coleman used to have a bit about this a long time ago.
Yeah.
About hey, he always gets this guy a Whopper because it's always he saw the one guy with the weird look in his eye. And always getting some food because it's hey, good times, good friend, remember? Haha, okay, see you later.
Yeah. So I guess that's how I would be if I thought.
Just try to
I'd
make
be
friends
like,
with him?
Can you just wait until I get off the
I have
bus?
3 stops left, sir. Please.
Hey, so I'm getting off pretty soon. Anyway, great jacket.
Were you religious when you were in Israel?
I was kind of losing my religiousness in Israel.
In there, look at that, another super hot girl.
Yeah.
What's she wearing on her legs? Pants.
But she kind of looks really trashy.
Yeah, she looks really trashy, actually. With that bleach blonde Kelly Bundy hair, smoking a cigarette. Ugh.
So You know, I come back and forth with.
So you were losing your religion there? When were you there?
I would
You were
call
already.
it more observance than religion.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't know if I like the term religiousness,
Yeah.
because there's so much within religion that isn't religious. You know,
Oh, yeah.
philosophy and
Well, there's culture.
and culture. Yeah. So I don't know if I ever liked the term religious. It's an easy one to use to describe it quickly, and I've slipped up and I say religious, but I think I like the word observant better.
I don't see the big deal. Religious. Hold on. What does it imply that it's not?
You're observant means you observe certain things. You're religious.
Observe all of it if you're observant.
But
right?
you
Or
can be
most of
different
it.
levels of observant.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Where's the line? Where's the threshold where
Right.
like, you're religious now you're not religious?
Right. So observance can imply. I consider myself a somewhat observant Jew,
Oh. You can say somewhat religious also.
but I don't know about religious.
You can say somewhat religious. It's sort of the same thing.
I think it's a totally
I know what you mean. I used to have
different
the same problem with the word religious. I'm like, who are you to say what's religious and not?
Yeah.
But observance pretty close.
thing. Religious is too
You see all
vague.
these bus line tours that come out here? This is like a stop. The Comedy Store's a stop on their fucking tours.
It's weird.
We used to write here during the day when we were like open micers, and we would always moon them. As they would come and look, we would start sticking our butts up against this glass. Really put it in there.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
So
Try to get them to see it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So you were losing your religion, though?
I was losing my observance.
You were becoming less observant while you were in
Becoming
Israel?
less observant in
I
Israel.
became more observant when I got to Israel.
Yeah?
Just because it's so much easier to eat kosher. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you have to look for the not kosher place. It's so easy. You can be like, oh, this place is not kosher. Across the street's a kosher one.
Yeah. I might have found some non-kosher ones when I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there are them around, especially in Tel Aviv. Where were you living? In Jerusalem.
Well, it was a work study type of thing. So we studied in Jerusalem at Hebrew U.
Yeah.
I worked. I volunteered for the army for I think 2 months. I did basic training.
Is that the fake basic training that I did?
Yeah.
Yeah. They yell at you, but you're like, you're
Yeah,
quarter
you're
hot.
like,
I don't
I'm just
care.
going to
I'll
leave
take
at the
yelling.
end of this.
But you get to shoot a rifle. Just let me shoot the rifle. And then I don't care.
Oh, I got the best job.
Really?
I got to. They ship in giant boxes of M16s from New Jersey. I think New Brunswick.
Yeah.
Or Palisades, was it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I get these big boxes of M16s. My job
Yeah.
was take each one out, cock the rifle,
Whoa.
shoot one round, make
What?
sure it works,
Yeah.
put it in a bin that says working.
Wow, that's cool.
Best job.
Was there ever a bullet in one?
Nobody over me. No,
Oh.
just shooting air. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Were you
what a great job.
that
You're
is
just like
cool.
bang,
Gun
bang all day.
long. Would your hands smell of like that metal?
Yeah,
That's cool.
it was great. It was really cool. And then one day we got Uzis in.
Nice. It was an Israeli, pretty much the Israeli gun.
Yeah, it was really. It was
I did that when I worked in a kibbutz for 2 months. I stayed in a kibbutz near Tveria.
which kibbutz?
Lavi.
Okay, I stayed in Keturah.
Is that right near there?
I think so.
Okay. By Tiberius, whatever you call it. Yeah, but all I would try to do is get out of work. It was like a bunch of us, and some people work in the kindergarten, some people work in the fields. There's a couple of guys worked in the cow pastures, and we would just try to like pretend we were sick. Mm-hmm. Or if we were out working in a field, like, hey, they're not around, let's just sleep.
You ever watch the cows fuck? Isn't that funny?
Not there, I guess. What do they just jump on top of each other?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, this giant.
It's really something. I got it on video. I used to video
Really?
that shit. I had a little digital video camera.
I had a video
I
of
used
a
to narrate
kangaroo
what they were
jerking
saying.
off.
What?
I was in Australia and I saw a kangaroo or a wallaby jerking off.
Was it the kangaroo or the baby reaching out from the pouch? And
That'd be crazy.
I guess that
sex.
wouldn't make sense because that's the mom, right?
Yeah, jerking off the mom. Yeah, exactly. Finger on her giant kangaroo.
Hey, you know what to do down there.
That would be an awesome video.
Yeah.
I was like, this has never been discovered in nature before. But a baby
We now-
or midget kangaroo is fingering the mother /
We now know the reason
baby
for the
mama,
pouch.
sugar mama.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. So I did that.
Baby would look up and like mouth out, "You like this?
Yeah.
Make you feel
You
good,
like this, huh?
walla bitch."
So,
Yeah, sorry. So you did that.
and then I lived in a lot that was the best
Hey, that's
part.
nice.
That was the best. I
That's
worked.
way warmer.
Yeah.
It's like hot.
It's beautiful.
And you got the Dead Sea right there.
God, it's amazing.
Another
Elat's
hot
the most
chick.
beautiful place.
Oh, boobs. Sorry, you're in LA6.
I loved Elat. I loved Cape Town. These are like some of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life.
Cape Town? I never went there.
Yeah. Oh, you got to go to Cape Town.
Yeah, I almost booked this movie that was going to shoot for 2 weeks in New Zealand. Oh, it was Avatar. It was down between
you were
me
almost
and,
in Avatar?
Yeah, it was down between me and another guy, and then they had to reschedule shooting around Michelle Rodriguez's fucking prison sentence.
Oh.
And so they're like, all right, we'll just recast or cast somebody there. I'm like,
sucks.
motherfucker.
You could have been in Avatar.
Yeah, I didn't know how big it was going to be then, but it would have been 2 weeks in New Zealand with like only like 4 days to work, so I just had off. And my dad was like, go to fucking South Africa, go to Cape Town.
You're like, I don't know. I don't want to put on all that blue makeup. It kind of looks stupid.
I wouldn't have had to do that. I was just checking people in.
So Cape Town and Elat remind me of each other. The beautiful mountains and the water and the trees and everything together.
And you can see, what is it? Not Egypt? No, Jordan? What's right across?
It's right next to Egypt. It borders Egypt.
Okay.
And I don't know what's across it because I'm not that great with geography.
I think it might be Jordan. It was some country, but you can see the other country
probably
right,
Jordan.
Right across the sea.
Probably Jordan.
It was kind of amazing. Like that's a
think it's
mortal enemy
Syria.
right there. You can see them. No, Syria's north.
It's not Syria. I don't think it's Lebanon. So it would probably be Jordan.
It's not Lebanon. That's north also. Yeah, Jordan goes on the side. Yeah, probably Jordan.
Jordan.
Or Egypt.
So, yeah, but Egypt's right next to it. I don't think it's Egypt. I think you're right. I think it's Jordan.
Jordan. Okay. Let's go with Jordan. God damn it. I should know more than that. So how long did you live there for?
I was there for the summer months, I think.
That's where you went? That's where you stayed? No, it's Scotland you're talking about.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying for that year that I was there.
Yeah.
Or
you stayed in Eilat for the summer months?
Yeah, I think it was like the months leading into the summer.
I never went in the Dead Sea. It's a regret of mine that I would get all the way there.
Cut, you got
yeah. I didn't have any cuts or anything. I just didn't feel like getting all 30 and...
I had so many cuts.
Really?
When I was in Eilat, I rented a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I crashed it.
Oh.
And I scraped the skin off like the whole left side of my body. Ugh. And now we're looking at...
And then you went in the saltwater Dead Sea?
This was like an earlier trip to Eilat than the one where I was living there.
Yeah.
But an earlier trip, I went there for like 2 days with some friends just to fuck around and party. And rented a motorcycle. Luckily insured it.
Yeah.
And crashed that shit pretty hardcore.
Really?
Yeah, and the motorcycle went out from under me, went skidding down the street into oncoming traffic. I tumbled around on the ground. I remember looking up as a car tire stopped inches from my head.
Yeah.
Didn't even feel pain at first. Got up and then noticed that the whole side of my body had been skinned.
And, from skidding?
Yeah. So I had these giant scabs, and cut to a few months later, they're almost gone. I mean, it wasn't that severe. They were healing, and they were almost gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going in the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that burned.
Killed.
Holy shit. It was excruciating pain.
But you floated, though, right?
Yeah.
You did float.
It was cool, too. I mean, but
the pictures are all cool. People just floating, like they're just dead.
Yeah.
Completely out.
Just dead in the Dead Sea. So I worked at an aquarium in Eilat.
Yeah, I've been that one. I've been there.
The Underwater Observatory.
Yeah, I've been there. It's really awesome.
Best thing I've ever done besides comedy.
Really?
If I got fired from Comedy World,
you would try to go
tomorrow,
back there?
And they said comedy is now banned. You're banned from all of comedy. My move would be very clear. I'm going to work in an aquarium.
Oh, any aquarium.
Any aquarium.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully one in a good climate. The one.
Why? What was it like?
Pretty cool. I don't know. I just felt so awesome. I loved it. I just, I was doing bitch work, but I fucking loved it.
You just like being around the fish?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're cool to watch.
They're relaxing.
They're really cool to watch.
I begged them to let me clean the shark tank. I'd gotten some kind of BS scuba license for the scuba with dolphins thing that you can do.
With the sharks there?
The shark's there, yeah.
What?
I've always had fascination with sharks. I've always been obsessed with sharks since I was a kid.
You went in there with the sharks there? What kind of sharks were they?
The most dangerous shark they had was a big mako shark. It was they had mako shark and a tiger shark. I don't know which one is worse, but
tiger sharks are super bad.
Yeah, I think it was a tiger shark. It was called Big Mama.
Yeah. What, did they just feed it right before you went in there?
It had been caught by an Egyptian fisherman and it was injured, and they brought it there to rehabilitate.
Yeah.
So they would not let me go in because of Big Mama, and I begged them. And in the last week that I worked there,
Why would you beg them?
because I wanted to be in with sharks.
was
Just
there
amazing
But
fucking
because somebody
thrill.
went in there and cleaned it.
Yeah, you have to
and the
go
shark
in.
left them
People
alone.
chuck shit in the top of the tank, and it sinks, and then the sharks shed their teeth, and they sit at the bottom, and they collect bacteria. And if you don't clean that shit out and change the sand periodically and clean any garbage out and litter at the bottom, it's going to infect the whole tank, and the sharks are going to die.
Okay, but why don't the sharks eat people?
Because they feed them like a ton of shit before you go in.
So they're just not in the
They're
mood.
like just sharks. If they're not hungry, they're not aggressive. They're not going
They
to.
won't attack.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
so I felt it would be such a thrill to be in a shark tank, just me and sharks going by me. Like, when
Yeah.
the fuck is that ever going to happen again? I got to
Yeah.
do it. So
I did the cage diving. I was in Hawaii.
Yeah,
but that's
I
at least
wanna
with a
do
cage
that.
around you.
Yeah, I actually find that scarier because
It's still scary.
Like, you're stuck in a fucking cage, and I'm claustrophobic.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't.
The worst is that it's sort of just a cage. So I'm always afraid that my legs are gonna go through the bottom, and out and just get
Yeah,
eaten.
I don't like being in a trap.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like leave me to my own devices with the shark, and let me figure it out.
Yeah.
Let me try and communicate with the shark somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be better than dropping me in like bait and teasing the shark.
They drop a bunch of chum around it too, so they get crazy like around you. And you're
It's
like,
like,
"Ah, so many sharks.
Look
enough
at this
chum."
fat, delicious human in a cage. Is right there. We're taunting you,
They're
shark.
looking at it like, I'll eat the chum, but I'm figuring out a way to eat you,
Yeah.
fatty.
Like,
So
wouldn't that be great? You can't have it. Here's some appetizers. There's the main dish. You can't get to it.
So they let you in?
They finally let me in. I had to sign some waivers and stuff that if I got eaten or bit, I couldn't sue and everything. And I finally got to go in the last week and do it. It was such a thrill, man. They're so beautiful. The sharks just going by you so gracefully. It's like beautiful jazz. I know that sounds
no, they're cool.
stupid, but it's
I like watching fish.
it's so smooth. It's like the way they just go right by you. It's
Yeah,
just the movement of a shark. Like, I can become mesmerized. Like,
that's how I get with fire.
I try and get my girlfriend to go to aquariums with me. Like, I could just, with fire. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I look at fire and
watch
sharks.
it.
It's dangerous. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You just can't take
Yeah,
your
they're both
eyes
dangerous
off of it.
too. I remember I was lighting up. I was in a sleepaway camp, Moshavah, this Jewish sleepaway camp, and it didn't matter that they're Jewish, but I was writing your name on the walls with like Lysol, and then you like light it and in cursive, like you see your name in fire on the walls, and then it goes out when the Lysol's done burning. But you're doing that on an old wooden bunk with children around. It's like it's not the best idea. So I was doing one of those things, or I had a candle that I was light, whatever, and I was watching it, and I got in trouble. I got caught, and they were like, "It's one of those things that they might send you home for."
Yeah.
But they're like, "So what are you, a pyromaniac? Is that what you like?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. I do like watching fire. I guess maybe.
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something mesmerizing about it. I could sit anytime I go to aquariums with a friend, they get annoyed with me because
Really?
I just want to sit there and watch the sharks and they're like, "Okay, come on, Lobell, let's go." What the fuck, dude? Let's go. You've seen the sharks
Yeah.
for 20
All
minutes.
right,
Let's
move it on.
go. Let's go. There's other parts of the aquarium. I want to do other stuff with my day. And I'll be like, just go have your day. Just let me watch these sharks.
Yeah.
I can just sit there and be happy. Like,
Yeah.
you ever think, like, I'm sure you fantasize, like, if you got really fucking rich,
Yeah.
You had so much money, and now you can do whatever you want with your money.
What would you do?
What would you do?
Oh yeah.
I figured this out years ago when I was a kid, and I still want to do it. Like, if I could do crazy money, eccentric shit.
Yeah.
Not good things with the money.
But
Selfish
whatever you
things.
wanted to do.
If I could do selfish things for myself with a lot of money,
Yeah.
I'm going to build a big, round, underground, circular room
Yeah.
at a beach house so I can build
Go
an
down into the
irrigation
ocean?
system. No, just so I can build some, have some tubing that runs right from the ocean under the sand into my basement, so I can create a natural filter.
Yeah.
So they're getting fresh ocean water every day.
Oh.
And I would have a massive.
So they
tank
couldn't get out though.
of all glass. Yeah, they couldn't get out. It would, but I'd have like tubing to
Yeah.
run in filtration.
Wow.
This is all in my head, and there's these beautiful giant sharks swimming around me, blue lit tank in a big circular room in the middle, a white circular couch with a white circular table in the middle of the couch, and I can just fade down the lights,
Yeah.
put my feet up on that table,
Yeah.
and lie back on that white couch and watch sharks just circle around me for hours on end anytime I want. Just go down my spiral staircase to my basement of sharks.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do anytime I had free time to just meditate and just relax. And
Wow.
that would be my ultimate money fantasy.
Yeah. I'd go a lot darker. I don't know.
So you're saying black lights?
There's some abuse that would go on
No blue
that
lights?
we do not find acceptable in our society.
What do you mean darker?
I don't know. I don't want to think about those things. There'd just be some horrible. Like I'd want to see someone eat their own shit. I don't know. I want to see things for my amusement. I don't.
You could probably do that without
wonder how much my car costs.
multi-millionaire. I think you can probably take $100 and find someone right here
There
in
was
LA.
some guy
and get them to
in.
eat their own
Have you been to the
shit.
3rd Street Promenade yet? Since you've been here?
To where?
3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica.
Yeah, I've been there.
There was this guy. So it's all these like rich people shopping and like homeless people begging for money
Yeah.
from the rich people. And there was this 2 homeless people, sort of young and tatted up, and he had like piercings all over. And this guy was like offering passersby. He's like, he goes, I'll look my own puke up for $5, and that's what he was offering everybody. Everybody's just
Yeah.
walking past. He goes, all right, I'll barf and look it up for $5. Hey, excuse me, $5. I'll barf and look it up right now. And this couple, super rich. They look like the Howells on Gilligan's Island, just like sleeveless sweaters, and just like what looks like rich in like a commercial. And this guy, and then way too close to them, this guy's holding he's like 60, and his wife's like 55, and he just goes, oh. He just sort of grabs her hand, just like shudders, and the guy goes, "Oh, what? You don't think I'll do it?" And it's like that's not the problem at all, man. You're misreading the situation. But yeah, shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I want to see you barf and look it up.
See, that only costs $5.
Yeah, good point.
you can definitely
Yeah, good
attain
point.
your fantasies
Yeah,
very easily.
I gotta make a better list of what I would do.
Shark Tank, man. You gotta go Shark Tank. But
Maybe I'll make a list for when this episode comes
Fire
out.
pit.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Make a list of this episode and put it on there.
just a house that you can burn down every day. How about that?
Yeah, move the family out. I'll get you a new house, but this is where you grew up. Leave everything there.
No, you just have
I want
a
you to watch
property,
it burn.
and you have a lot next to your property, and you hire people to build shitty houses every day
So that I could
you
watch
can
it burn
them
down?
at night.
My sister's husband, their parents, the Wilburs.
They do that.
No, but they bought this house. They were going to like build a new house on this property, and so they donated to the fire department to have a test burn. So they did that. They lit it up.
Wow.
And then tried to put it out like when it was like severely burning.
How much do you wish you were there to watch that?
A lot more because I didn't fucking watch. I'm like, why wasn't I invited to that? At least down the street or something.
Yeah.
It would have been rad. Why wasn't I allowed to watch that? What the fuck? I just realized that now.
Yeah.
Asshole parents. Why wouldn't they have said, hey, Ari, you would love that?
Yeah.
They didn't even know I was a pyromaniac, but even if I wasn't.
Ari, you've been deprived.
God. When you see like smoke in the sky, you're like, whoa, there's a fire.
Yeah.
But like if you could actually see it,
Right.
man, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else did I have to ask you about Israel? How hot are Tzahal girls? You could say this even if your girlfriend's here. You weren't dating her back then, right?
No. They're really hot.
They're these Israeli army chicks, and they're so fucking hot. And they walk down to the bars with Uzis.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Their green shirts buttoned down, like breaking
They're
apart.
they're like tough and sexy. You know?
Yeah.
I had
They're just out at clubs.
and it's like you know, it really is a submissive man's fantasy.
Oh yeah, because they're like, shut up. God, they're so tough and they're so hot though.
I had a female drill sergeant in my fake army training.
I did too. It might have been the same one. She was super
She was
hot.
French Israeli.
Oh, no.
She was
no. Don't want.
she was a French Israeli Jew.
Yeah.
She was insanely hot and an insane bitch, and it was such a turn on. And I used to
Really?
piss her off on purpose. Like, you know, you say Ken Mifakedet means like yes, drill sergeant, female.
Okay. Yeah.
So I kept
Ken
saying,
Mifakedet.
like, pretending I was making the mistake honestly, but I wasn't. I'd be like, Ken Mifakedet, which is yes, female retard.
Uh-huh.
And she'd be like
Mifakedet,
yelling at me,
what's the
but it was
difference?
so hot when she yelled at me.
Yeah.
It was she was so.
How do you say
sexy
that
when
two
she was
words?
mad. Instead of Ken Mifageret, it's Ken Mifakedet.
Oh. But
No. Ken Mifakedet, Ken Mifageret.
Okay.
Mifageret is a female retard.
Okay. So just the G and C.
Yeah.
That's pretty close. You think they would
And I'd
have
be like,
that?
"Oh, I'm so sorry, I screwed it up again." Make me do push-ups and shit. But
That's
it was,
what I did when I took in college. I took a beginning Hebrew.
Yeah.
Just for the credit, I found out I had to take like a language or a I don't know, something like that. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just took beginning Hebrew. But then somebody got kicked out day one because they knew Hebrew too well.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent the rest of the 2 semesters just trying to fuck up ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Like still get an A, but like get like a 95.
Right.
But not just random bad. Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
Putting letters backwards by accident, like every once in a while.
For like an American Jew,
Yeah.
like an Israeli Jew is like, it's like they make us in tough. Like they make.
Oh yeah,
they
exactly.
make-
It's so weird.
it's like
It's because they're all children of the Holocaust.
right. It's like Woody Allen, like finding out that like there's like a Jewish Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, it's completely different.
like it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, they all have to serve time in the army.
Yeah.
Which is all the American Jews just make sure that their child doesn't fuck up enough to have to go to the army.
It's like, wait a minute, you don't get post-nasal drip when you smoke
Yeah,
pot?
yeah.
They're like, we don't even
Tell
know
me
what
a flat
post-nasal drip is. Pussy, you know?
I had a friend, Ariel, I forget his last name, Lafi, maybe? He was the best guy on my middle school basketball team, but he was Israeli. His little brother was like 3 and had a full hair on his arm. I'm like, what the fuck? While we were waiting to hit puberty.
Yeah.
But he went to Israel. He moved back to Israel in like 7th, 8th grade or 9th grade maybe. And then I saw him when I went there. And I was like, so you still playing basketball? And he was like, I play with bullets now. I'm like, oh, so overdramatic, Ariel. Give me a break. Even if you do, relax.
Well,
Self-important.
I
Come on,
play
all
with
country does
bullets
this.
now. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, I guess I'll play without you. then.
Yeah, that's cool because there's a game going on. If you
So
want to play,
yeah,
it's a
so
good
you know
game.
what? Why don't you stay home? And I'm gonna go play with people who are decent.
Look, they keep coming. The fucking tour buses.
Yeah.
Wait, I have to stop for my sponsor for a second. These people sponsor me that make train horns. You ever seen those?
No.
On cars, they have train horns on cars.
No, but
they
I'm
blast like as loud as a train horn.
I'm sure they're awesome.
They are awesome. Sometimes they pass by on Sunset. It's just like a regular horn where you, instead of hearing honk honk, you just hear this like tremendously loud train horn. It's like,
Yeah.
and everyone fucking stops and looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Horn Blasters. They're my sponsor. They're cool. I know this guy I've known him for a long time. They drove to Atlanta once to see us on stage.
So there's like a guy who's a millionaire off horn blast.
He's not a millionaire. He gets by.
Yeah.
But he makes these stuff, and people sue out their cars with them. They're like $400.
Wow.
Would you ever get something like that? You can be honest. Would you even drive?
I don't drive.
You don't drive. Fucking
My girlfriend
New Yorkers.
does all the driving.
New Yorkers
Yeah.
have no ability to drive.
Yeah.
I think either Metzger or Jay Oakers didn't have a license.
I have a license, but my girlfriend drives me everywhere.
Really?
I'm too anxiety ridden and anxious.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You get bad anxiety?
Bad anxiety. I get the Tony Soprano thing when I'm driving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you definitely should not smoke pot then when you're driving.
Oh, I've never done that.
Oh, you should. It's great. But don't. Because of the anxiety. But it's too bad that you can't.
I do fine in like neighborhoods. I do find, here's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not. Maybe I just think I'm interesting. But I can drive around Manhattan without sweating a drop. I feel so comfortable. But if you get me
Really?
on a regular highway that everybody else is just moving fine, everybody is fine with that,
Yeah.
freak out.
Wow. Why? Because the high speeds? Because Manhattan people freak out because it's so trafficy. They just make extra lanes.
I was talking to my therapist
Those asshole
about
faced
this.
cab drivers.
Yeah, and it's because I feel trapped. It's the same way I
feel
get on
trapped
a
in-
roller coaster. It's the same thing with the shark cage.
Yeah.
When I'm on a highway
Oh, yeah.
and there's all of a sudden nowhere to pull over until the next exit,
Yeah.
thoughts start going through my head like, you're overweight. What if you have a heart attack right now?
Yeah.
Who's going to save you? You're alone in a car. There's nowhere you could even pull over. And I start getting like really fucking scared and my whole like skin starts like, feeling jumpy, and I'm like,
Oh, wow, really?
And I like open the window, I close the window, I turn the radio on and off, I start sweating, and I'm like, what's going on right now? You can't stop. What? You can't stop. You're in this. You're locked in. What the fuck are you going to do now? You can't get
wow.
out of this situation.
Because it's but in traffic you can just open the door and get out.
Yeah.
But in the
And
highway,
if I'm
you
driving
can't.
in Manhattan, I could pull over anywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't have that anxiety.
Oh, that makes sense.
And if I'm driving in a neighborhood like this, I could pull over anywhere. I don't have anxiety. I can drive perfectly well. But you get me on a highway, and as soon as that realization seeps in, I'll be driving fine. Everything's cool.
There was a scene in Clueless. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, when they're trying to learn how to drive. Did you see it? When they're trying to learn how to drive and they're taking a turn and they accidentally start getting on an entrance ramp to the highway and they start freaking out. They're like, we're going to the highway! Stop it! And then after that, the one girl decided to give up her virginity to the boyfriend because they went through such a traumatic experience. They went one exit and got right off.
Sounds like a great movie.
It was a great movie.
I should check it out.
Clueless snuck up on you. I thought it was going to be so dumb, but I was like, oh, this is actually really funny. I should watch it again.
So I get that way. I get that way on a roller coaster. As soon as I get strapped, they buckle you into the roller coaster, it starts moving.
Yeah.
I always say, oh, can this roller coaster handle my weight? I'm a heavy guy. And they go, oh, it's
That's
handled.
what's going through your head.
It's handled more than you. They
How
go,
do you ever smoke pot? You get way too much anxiety.
And then it's like, as soon as we start taking off on that roller coaster, it's like, what if they're wrong? What if this is the one unit on this roller coaster that can't handle the weight, and all the other ones were tested? And
somebody dies on roller coasters. That happens every year.
Die. What if I have a heart attack right now? What if something happens and we go in that fall and it's just too much for my body, and this is the moment that my heart gives out and I'm dead, and now my dead body has to go around on this roller coaster until it finishes its course, and it's too late for them to defibrillarize me, and I'm dead. And the whole roller coaster, I'm just freaking out like that. I can't take this. My hands get sweaty. My
sweaty.
palms, yeah.
Do you get the cold sweats?
Yeah. And it's like, I got to get out. And then as soon as it ends, it's not the heights.
That's such a great feeling.
I don't like heights, but it's not the heights and it's not the drops. It's the fact that I'm locked and loaded. I'm in there. And that scares me. And
I don't get as bad as you. I get where I think I'm too tall for the roller coaster and the low-hanging beam will take my head off.
Yeah.
So I try to crouch my head down, but I'm positive that if my head's too fat, it's just going to smash.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that fucking idiot?
But it's such a good feeling.
What does that idiot who's got a summer job at this theme park really care about whether I live or die right now? Of course he's going to say
Another
I'll
hot
be fine.
girl.
Yeah. Of course he's going to tell me I'll be fine. He's not going to tell me I'm going to die. It's his job to tell me I'm going to be fine. Yeah, it can handle your weight. What if it can't? Oops, you're dead. Who cares? He doesn't care about me. It's a summer job, And that freaks me out. And
I wonder if they get to go home early because they shut the park down when somebody dies, right?
Yeah, I
They
guess.
probably have incentive for you to die.
That's bad.
Because, they can't leave for a few hours, definitely. They got to get everybody out of the park.
Yeah.
Disneyland shuts down. I know that.
Yeah, it's not.
So if you get on a ride, you're too fat for the ride.
Yeah.
It comes off in a Final Fantasy situation.
Yeah.
And then so they have to let everybody out. That takes about an hour, let's say.
Yeah.
And then they have to wait there for a couple hours. And then you're done.
They probably
That
have
happens at
refreshment.
noon?
They probably set up like a craft service table for people.
If that happens at noon, you're out by 5 instead of 9 p.m.
It's a good deal for you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God Fatty died,
Yeah. They
Good.
probably see you and like, okay, we don't want to die, but at least we'll get out early.
This could be my chance.
They don't care about your life.
This could be my chance to make the early cinema.
Yeah. You're a mark to
the early
them.
bird special tonight.
They're carnies, technically. Wait, would you ever you got to see one of these train horns. Whatever. They're good. Okay, we're done with the sponsorship anyway. Get back to the fucking, what's it called thing? The Shark Tank. So you got to go in?
So I got to
how'd
do
you
it.
convince them to let you do it?
I had to sign all sorts of stuff that said you won't sue. You're doing this on your own. You're insisting to do this. You don't. We try to talk you not to do it. You have a valid. I had like a temporary scuba. I don't even remember.
Do you have a shocker just in case the tiger shark comes too close?
This is what they gave me.
What?
No joke. A stick.
Just a stick?
Yep.
To get him out to poke him in
Just
the
like
face
the
with?
end of a broom pole,
Yeah.
but had like a little rubber end on it. Looked like a giant match.
So if he comes at you, you're supposed to poke him in the face?
in the gill.
Where's the gill?
You know, the gills.
Oh, that's like
breathe
that's
out
like
of?
punch him in the solar
That's what
plexus.
somebody told me. They're like,
That's their version of punch him in the solar
it's like-
plexus.
but they
or
say,
finger to
they
the
say
neck.
just tap the gill, and it'll just tap them in the gill, and it'll make them change their course. It's not to hurt the shark, or
It's just to get him away from you.
it's not to fight the shark. It's just to like change its course. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, here, just bump it that way, and it'll start going. So
Another hot girl with boots and mini shorts. It's February.
So that was it. So I had the stick.
Yeah,
I went in
sorry.
with the scuba stuff, and it was thrilling. I could have done it forever.
Come on, that's a 9 in Philadelphia.
Are you talking about the giant?
No,
That's a dude.
the girl with the pink pair of shirt. That's the shut up.
That
Oh,
dude
because it's
kinda
audio.
He kind of looks.
Oh, that dude's standing over there. Yeah,
He
he's
does
creepy.
kind of look like a woman.
Like, I'm pretty sure you got it wrong, all right. So then they give you the stick to poke him, and you did it? You cleaned it?
I didn't have to poke them. They didn't come at me. But yeah, I got to do
But you got to
it.
face away from them, right? Wait,
No,
like you got to
I
face
don't remember anything like that. I just
No, you're cleaning the glass. You're facing away from the inside of the tank.
No, I wasn't cleaning the glass. I was just picking up debris from the bottom of the tank and putting it in like a bag, and that was it.
Like an underwater hobo.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It
was really nice.
I collected some shark teeth, kept them for a while, lost them.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, because they fall out and they just go down
Yeah.
there.
They're constantly falling out and replacing their teeth.
Oh, really?
It's good teeth technology. If we could figure out how sharks do it, then old people would have a much better time.
God, then I wouldn't feel bad about not going to the dentist for 8 years.
I don't know if that's a bad thing though. I hardly ever go to the dentist.
Yeah.
I'm not a regular brusher, which most people would find disgusting.
You're not a regular brusher?
I miss a day.
Blech.
I miss a day.
I used to be like that, but
And-
seriously.
and-
Get
and
the
every
fuck.
time I go to-
How old are you? 28?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's fine.
Whenever I go to a dentist,
Yeah.
immaculate.
Just so you know.
Perfect teeth. They say,
Okay.
I can't tell you how many times different dentists that I've
Yeah.
been to
Okay.
that I'm like, they're going to tell me I'm just full of cavities right
Okay,
now. I'm
once-
going to get the
okay.
news. And you know what they say?
Yeah.
You take excellent care of your teeth.
Yeah. When's the last time you went, first of all?
A year ago?
And two, this sounds like Patrice O'Neill at some point saying, no, I have good cholesterol. I'm fine.
Oh, no.
You're 28 now. At some point, it won't be like that. So at some point, you'll figure out. Louis has a bit about it. Like, you just think you'll never have to pay for the damage you do to your body.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So I'm a
you've
dead
managed
man.
to
Thank you. I
no, I'm saying
appreciate
you managed to
how
get
you-
by. But at some point, you're like, now I should be careful. It's like
So-
speeding all the way home from a
So
trip.
you're saying someone's going to listen to this one day and laugh and say, listen to that ignorant fool.
That one with two teeth
That
left?
toothless comedian
Yeah,
loser
exactly. Yeah.
who thought he had it all figured
They'll
out.
see your hubris. and
Thought he
they'll be
was
like,
on top
what
of the
a moron.
world. And now look at him.
Change your ways now. That's what I'm saying. With that
Wheezing
and the
through-
fattiness.
Yeah.
You got to fucking...
I got to save myself.
28 is fine. How much do you weigh? 300?
A little more than that.
A little more than 300 pounds?
Quite a bit more.
Well, at least you're 7'9", so it's spread out over that
Yeah,
frame, right?
Yeah,
No?
right.
How tall are you?
5'10", and,
and how much?
340 pounds.
Wow. Dude, you got to reverse that. You
The height?
have like 4 years left. You don't have to do it now.
I'm very short now.
But you got to in 4 years.
I'm not going to wait. I'm trying right now.
Really?
I'm really working at it.
Do you do Weight Watchers?
No, I failed at Weight Watchers and many other programs. Right, I'm doing right now. I go to Overeaters Anonymous, and I know all the jokes there. And
Eric Shaffer had a show about that once.
And I go to a therapist who specializes with addicts.
Oh, really?
Because
it should be a mind thing.
I'm attacking it from a cognitive point of view right now because I tried going at it. It's like any other
clearly
addiction.
You have some sort of weird addiction, so it's not just don't eat.
It's addictive behavior. It's I mean, that's why they have an anonymous group for it. Alcoholics, drug addicts, and overeaters. Those are addictions.
Yeah.
You know, people, it's fun to make fun of fat people.
God, it's fun.
It's really fun.
You know why? Also, because you feel like it's not a good thing either, right?
To be fat?
Yeah.
Of course.
It's not like
Fat
being black
people
where like
hate fat people
there's
too.
nothing wrong with being black.
Fat people despise fat people too because they hate themselves. And then they see someone like them and they're like, fuck that guy because fuck me.
Oh.
You know? And it's kind of sad because it's sad because of many things, but it's just the general attitude that people have towards fat people is they're not treated like addicts. They're just treated like out of control gluttons.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're not treated like oh, you have a problem, you have a disease.
Same thing with
It's just like
drug
you're
addicts.
a greedy bastard.
Same thing with drug addicts a little bit. You're like, ugh, get away, drug addict.
No, I think it's different. With a drug addict, people say, oh, he's got a problem.
Yeah,
and
they do that sometimes.
it needs,
They definitely say that sometimes.
He
with
has a
drug addicts.
disease.
But they
and
never say it with fat
They
people.
never say it with fat people. And fat people, I think, are a lot more like alcoholics than drug addicts because there are plenty of people that can enjoy drinking and can drink in excess and be fine.
Oh, and also it's even worse because food is great for everybody.
Right.
Food is delicious for everyone.
It's the
We
worst.
all want to keep eating.
It is the worst out of the three addictions for sure because, first of all, you have to eat to live. You don't have to drink.
You got to partake a little bit.
And you don't have to. You can't quit food cold turkey without the stupid pun intended. But you cannot quit food and just be off food.
Yeah.
You can be off alcohol and be like, oh, that's my trigger. If I have alcohol, I'm going to start drinking again.
Right.
You can't do that with food. You can do it with
drugs.
drugs.
Yeah.
You cannot do it with food. So it's like, fuck, I really have to continue doing the thing that I'm addicted to and not
just
do
less
it in
moderation.
an addicted way. And it's a very, and it's not and imagine if everywhere an alcoholic went, people just fucking
Sounds
made
like a
jokes
bummer.
about them being.
Everywhere an alcoholic went, you need something.
He was sure to go or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, that's what it is.
People just made jokes about it and didn't treat it like it was a thing.
Yeah,
And so you decide in your head, it's not a thing. You believe society. It's like I was
well, right.
saying
It's just
about
like when alcoholism wasn't a thing.
with
People were just like-
Palestinian people.
Yeah,
Society tells you, you're a fat guy.
yeah.
It's not a disease. You're just
Jolly.
you're just a joke. You
Yeah.
know. So you believe it.
Oh yeah.
And at a certain point, you start making fun of yourself for being fat to beat them to the punch. So at least you own it, you know?
Yeah.
At least that's been my experience, you know? And I caught myself in it. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm now
Oh, yeah,
doing
a lot
their
of
work
fat
for
guys-
them.
Fat comic guys do that. They make fat jokes.
I won't do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna give in to what the fuck you want. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you wanna pigeonhole me as what you think the reason is that I'm fat. And that's why it's funny to you.
Oh yeah.
It's not funny to someone to be that you're fat because you have a disease. It's funny to someone because you're fat because you're a fat fuck. You're an
Also, it's
asshole
funny
or
because
whatever.
it's like
you know?
we're not gonna imagine that you're almost definitely gonna die way
Right.
before you should.
I'm not going to give in to your misconception about obesity
Yeah.
by making a joke about it that validates your opinion
Yeah.
and making you laugh.
Also, you
Because
hate
I
the
used
fat
to do
jokes,
it.
huh?
I
Yeah.
hated it, and I didn't really stop and think about why I hated it for a long time. And then when I did, I was like, "That's it. I'm not going to give them that satisfaction.
Yeah, but
I'll
it's
make
like
them
this,
laugh
your side
despite
effect,
the fact
your
that
side
I'm
effect,
fat."
or not side effect, but your consequence. Just like a drug addict's consequence,
Right.
it's like you look like a drug addict.
I
you
have to
fall out.
acknowledge it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
But, like,
I'm
your
not going to
consequence
pretend it
is-
doesn't
it's
exist.
gross to people.
Right.
It looks disgusting to people.
Right.
They're bothered even like having you around them.
Mm-hmm. And it's a challenge in every way in life
Yeah,
to win over a person. Already, you have something against you.
yeah,
Your first impression, without saying a word,
yeah.
they don't like you. So now, if you make say one wrong thing or make one wrong move,
Yeah.
whereas it's forgivable for your peers or for anyone else,
Yeah,
for you, that just confirms that they
Oh, yeah.
believed you were an asshole, and you've just confirmed that you're an asshole.
yeah. I guess drug addicts
You're
do
an
that
asshole.
too.
You know?
That's how I feel on pot when it's like if I don't want to get high before auditions and stuff because if I fuck up, it's fine.
Right.
But if I fuck up when they know I'm high, they're like, oh, it's because of that. And you're
Yeah.
like, no, I'm just
Right.
not a non-caring actor. That's all.
People make an assumption about you, and now you have to fight that assumption
Yeah,
instead of just being able to just be you and not worry about the
Oh yeah. Of course they assume something about you.
So I think that's it. I don't know. That's my point. I'm
Sorry,
fighting it.
sorry.
I'm trying to attack it. In
I had some
terms
more
of
questions about Israel. Yeah, I know
what
this.
I
This
eat,
is a separate topic, and we should get into it.
yeah.
What? It says what you're watching it.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because you relapse. You know.
Yeah.
And so
I
what I
binge
do
sometimes. That's why Red Band. My friend Brian always tells me, he's like, "Oh, if I were as skinny as you, I'd eat all the time." It's like, no, I'm skinny so that once in a while I can go nuts,
yeah,
but just once in a while.
yeah, yeah.
There's some awesome food around, and I'm gonna fucking kill it. But yeah, you
Do your
can't.
thing,
You do that
man.
all the time, though.
No, yeah. It's like now I've found a strategy that seems to be working for me.
What's the strategy?
Whereas it's also like the same anxiety about driving, which I just realized right now
Yeah. What?
that I have about dieting. Like being locked and loaded into something, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm in it, I can't get out of it. I got to eat something, I'm out of it. Thank
Yeah.
God. When I diet now, I set days for myself
You set days.
that are like,
Cheat
you
days?
know what? I'm going to eat pizza that day.
Oh yeah, that's part of the food group. Is this
It's
chocolate
like-
Sunday?
Yeah. It's like, you know
It's at the
what?
top
I'm
of the
going to go
food
without
pyramid,
pizza
not
for
group.
3 days,
Yeah.
and then I'm having a day where I eat pizza.
The Rock used to have a thing
Yeah.
where he would eat healthy, super healthy all week long, and then Sunday he ate like 24 donuts or something crazy because that was his
There's
day. He
something
could do
to
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
I have an idea that could be a
Where it's like, and you're allowed, but only on this day, and there's no bargaining with it.
Right.
There's no like, well, I'll take my day early and then not. It's like, no, it's only on this day. My friend Eddie Bravo did that too. Sundays.
the problem in the joke I realized that you can make out of it is
What?
I said to myself, okay, fine. Saturdays, at first when I did it 1 day a week. Now I'm trying to space it out more.
Yeah.
So I'd go, Saturdays are my days for pizza. If I want pizza, I can have pizza for a meal
Only
on
specifically
Saturday.
pizza. Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, what do I do about hot dogs? All right, Friday is my day for hot dogs.
No, because then you're gonna have a
And
fucking
then
bad food
day-
for every day.
Yeah, exactly. That's the joke. but the joke came out of a real place where I was like, okay, so it's spaghetti day, hot dog day, pizza day, cake day. Like, it's now you have set yourself up with a completely unhealthy week. So you really have to alternate what the bad food is which week or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was just any bad food on a day. Like, eat whatever you want.
It could be.
Eat pizza or hot dogs.
For me, it's more like, think about it. Like,
oh, right.
It's
I think that's a lot of it, too, for weight loss. That's what Weight Watchers works with a lot of people. Just because you have to write down everything you eat.
Right.
Makes you realize, I shouldn't be eating this right now. I shouldn't be eating that right now.
Yeah, then you got to carry around a joke notepad and a food notepad. And
yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, what was the pot like in Israel? Did you have any?
No.
You never got any?
I never did.
I knew it was big hash back then, but I didn't smoke back then. I don't think I
didn't
ever
smoke
had.
back then either. I had it in South Africa, the dacha, they call it.
Dacha, yeah. What was that like?
That was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And people told me it wasn't going to be good. I thought it was pretty good.
But you hadn't really smoked much?
No, I had at that point.
You had? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you had some reference point.
Many years later, South Africa. But I went to Amsterdam recently, and that was great.
They call it, really?
Yeah, but I was just...
Have you been to where you are right now?
Yeah.
The center of pot?
Yeah.
West Hollywood, California?
I've been here before and did the medical thing.
Yeah. Have you had a card before?
No.
It's so great. Just going to stores.
Probably fun to have the card.
Yeah, hashish, that's what they always had in Israel. That's my friends who did it. They were like, we're going to get some hashish.
Done that too.
Is that hash?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that has to be super strong.
Yeah, it was good. But I didn't do it in Israel.
You did it
in
South Africa.
Scotland.
Scotland? How's their hash?
You got to spread it out.
Yeah, I guess so. Smoking pot all over the world.
That was all right.
Yeah. What did you do Ulpan when you went there?
I did.
Explain what that is. I love this idea. But everybody knew when they moved there, are supposed to like do this immersion thing, right?
Yeah, we were spending a few months in Ashkelon, which is a big immigrant city.
Yeah, I was there once.
An absorption center, Ethiopian absorption center.
Oh yeah,
where they brought in all the Ethiopian immigrants.
The Kushim. Yeah,
the black Jews.
We used to when I was there for a semester, my last year, senior year of high school. We all went there. That was my first semester there, and then I went for a couple years after that.
Yeah,
but when we saw there was no black Jews. The black Jews, they had them. Just the Ethiopians.
Like, oh my God, we come in black too.
Yeah,
That's
but they
awesome.
put them all out in Ashkelon.
Yeah.
So in
Ashkelon, yeah.
In the neighborhoods of Jerusalem, where there's no black people, anywhere.
Yeah.
So I remember just screaming N-bombs at my friends down the block.
Really?
Like, hey, niggers, get over here! With no worry that anyone's going to hear you.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that anyway.
I know. It was so freeing for us at 18. We're like, what?
Yeah.
We can scream this and it won't be a problem?
Yeah.
God. It was delightful to us.
Yeah.
But, so what was Ulpan like? You just have to sit there for how long did you go for? 2 weeks?
No, I was there for... I think a few. It's
what?
It's foggy now in my memory how long exactly because it's been 10 years. But
I know they used to do the thing when
probably
you moved there.
2 months.
2 months?
I think so. Yeah.
Of where you're just immersed with Hebrew.
Yeah.
To help you learn
Go
the
to
language.
Hebrew classes every day. Volunteer with the Ethiopian children and teaching English and stuff.
Yeah.
Worked in an old age home there.
When new immigrant families come, they're supposed to separate you from your family during the days so that you can not talk to each other in whatever your native language is.
Maybe, I don't know that.
But you didn't have a family, yeah.
I loved Ashkelon. Great beach city. Learned a lot of Hebrew. Forgot a lot of it since then.
Yeah, me too.
And really felt like an Israeli when I lived there. Really felt like I was getting into what it is to be...
When you get away from Ben Yehuda.
Yeah, just really felt like I could live in Israel and survive and be happy.
Yeah.
And the only reason I can think of that I wouldn't move to Israel, and it's not to knock the great country of America, but I would like to live in Israel. I enjoyed it. It's beautiful. And the only reason is, what are you going to do in showbiz and comedy?
Oh, yeah, there's nothing.
Israel?
There's a comic that lives there, that moved there, Jackie Diamond. Mm-hmm. I think that was his name, and I think he did comedy there for a little while, but yeah, there's no scene. It's really only LA or New York, or you'd be a working road comic, you could live anywhere. Tokyo?
No.
As a comedy scene? Or England, I guess.
Yeah,
or Toronto.
London's got a nice thing going.
What was I just going to ask you? Okay, question. Did you go? So you went to Ben Yehuda a lot. Was that Subway still open there? Like right off Ben Yehuda? It opened up when I was there.
The one that blew up? No, that was the Sbarro's.
Oh,
I don't know. Might have been.
there was a Subway that opened when I was there. It was the first time we got a Subway. It was kosher. And they didn't know. They didn't understand Jews, I guess. And they had a fountain drink that you just get yourself. And people would just save their cups for months. Just months of just Jews coming there and being Jewy.
My dad used to save the
Hand cups off to people. Like, no, don't. I got one here. You can use it. Give it back to me later.
My dad used to save the cup that they give you at Costco because it's unlimited refills. And he'd be like, I go to Costco once a week. I'm just keep the cup. Why am I going to keep buying the soda?
Yeah.
Then he stopped doing it.
They had to discontinue they had to put the step fountain behind the counter
Yeah.
and just sell one. That, and there was an all-you-can-eat Pizza Hut in either Netanya or Tzfat. No, it wasn't Tzfat. It was Netanya. Or Haifa. It was Haifa.
Yeah. Great football team.
Really?
Maccabi Haifa?
They're like the bud.
I don't know. I like them.
Okay. Football, you mean soccer? Did you get into it there?
Soccer.
Did you
Yeah,
get
I
into,
always liked soccer. I like, I never got into American sports too much, but I like watching in the UK. I like going to football/soccer games. I like it. It's too much work for me to follow it from here.
Yeah.
But when I'm there,
You follow it?
I dig
you get into it?
You know?
I got into Israeli League basketball when I was there. But their problem was Maccabi Tel Aviv was just the dominant team.
Yeah, that's the problem in
They
Israel.
don't have
I mean,
rules that you could like parody.
You get one really great team, and then you get a lot of like. It's like, all right, well, I guess we have to have other teams too. Israel's such a small place; they really only need one good team.
They had this cool thing though, where it's like to incentivize the bad teams. They have an A, a B, and a C league. Mm-hmm. So like, if you I think if you come in last or second to last in the A league, like you drop down, and the winners of the B league get to move up, and you're playing like the major leagues. So it's like okay, you can't win, you can't be Maccabi Tel Aviv, but they're not getting. Like, as long as we don't come in last, we're okay.
Right.
Yeah, like a top 8 teams or something like that. It was nice. It made people play, even though they couldn't win. It was in Jerusalem. It was an all-you-can-eat Pizza Hut. And we would, like, fast all day Monday. And then go there and eat an entire pie, then order another pie and eat, like, a bite and say, okay, I'm done. Wrap this to go.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of shit I can't do anymore if I'm going to live.
Yeah.
But dude, pizza is like my heroin.
That's your thing? I love it in New York. It's so fucking good in New York. Walk around. Where do you live?
I live in like Afghanistan for a heroin addict.
Where do you live?
I live in New York, and I'm surrounded by pizza. I live in Bushwick.
Okay.
East
It's so great. It's like you just late at night anywhere. It's like, oh, there'll be pizza open at least.
Yeah.
You can get a slice of that.
It's amazing.
God.
And it's like drugs. You know, it's like shoot me up with a slice, man.
When you see the beginning of Louis, that show Louis, and you see him eating slices, do you get the desire,
dude?
Like with cigarettes?
I go there
to that place
after that show. I watch the episode and I'm like,
and then go to that pizza place.
I go to that pizza place.
I guess I would too. I've been
it's
to that
such
one.
effective advertising for that pizza place.
Yeah, it's so good. He's like, can I please just film here? You'll get a business.
It's incredible.
Which one? That's right around the corner,
and
right?
there's so many better pizza places than that one, right near that one. But you're like, I got to have that one now.
I always eat at the falafel place right next to there, Mahmoud's.
Yeah,
I love it. But then Kurt Metzger's like, dude, no, it's rat central. I will never eat there. It's so much rats.
I think Kurt thinks that about everything.
He might, because Okerson is like, I don't know, that's good. Whatever, it's
fine.
different.
I don't know what Kurt...
He's like, they've been shut down.
Rat central everywhere. It's New York. Rats are in go down into the subway. They are everywhere. They're underneath everything.
Yeah.
You just have to accept that.
But you don't want rat droppings in your shit in your food.
You just have to tell yourself, I'm making myself a deal. If I'm going to eat in New York, there's probably a good chance that there's going to be some rat droppings in some of the shit I eat. Probably.
That's what you have to do. You have
and then you say, if there's rat droppings in everything, there's rat droppings in nothing.
Wait, even at fine dining places?
I don't know. I don't trust them either.
I wonder how bad it gets.
They go out of business for health reasons too.
What about like a Pita Hut?
Joe's Pizza is amazing.
Joe's
you ever go to Joe's?
Is that the one here? There's one that block away.
No, I'm talking about in the West Village.
Oh, yeah,
right around the corner.
They have them right near me. It's really good by the same people.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
Yeah.
You get the mozzarella slice, like
mozzarella
fresh mozzarella slice.
Slice? Oh yeah, sometimes.
fantastic.
You like it? You're a pizza guy.
Big pizza guy.
What was the pizza like in Israel?
I think 95% of my obesity is pizza is made up of pizza.
Ugh.
I think that's mostly pizza fat that you see. Why is that disgusting?
Have you ever thought of having just the fat?
Is there anything that I could have said my fat was made of that?
No, I don't think so. I'm just thinking about the fat.
What if it was pastrami fat? Isn't that grosser? Isn't that much grosser? Like, oh, that's pastrami fat on you? Like, I'm proud that at least it's pizza fat. Why would you?
Maybe you're right.
What if it's sloppy Joe fat? You don't want sloppy Joe fat. Oh, that dude. I mean, it's got the word sloppy in the name.
Yeah.
Pizza fat. It's kind of nice, and the Z's in it. It's a short, cute word. It's just pizza fat, you know. It's kind of got a ring to it.
How often do you eat pizza now?
Probably once a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's probably too much too, right?
it probably is. But I
you
cut
do
down
a
from
little
two
bit, yeah.
slices to one, and then I have the guy cut the one slice into two, like kitty slices. So I
it
still feel like I'm having two slices mentally. I try to trick myself.
No, one slice of pizza a week is better than I'm sure what you were doing.
Yeah.
340. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow. And have you lost weight doing this?
Oh. I haven't weighed myself.
You don't get on a scale.
Stop
doing it, huh?
It's traumatic. You know, you just you get overly encouraged, and then you feel like you can ease up on yourself,
Yeah.
or you get overly discouraged, and then you eat out of depression because you're fucking. You know, the Austin Powers joke: you're fat, you eat because you're fat. You're fat because you eat. No, I eat because I'm depressed. I'm depressed because I eat. The fat bastard thing.
Yeah.
But
I don't remember it as much as you. That scene, I was like, that's funny, I guess.
I love Mike
I know.
Myers. So yeah, I think if you get bad news on a scale, it doesn't encourage you to do better. It discourages you, and you're like, I'm doing all this work. It's not even fucking working. Fuck it. I'm having pizza.
Oh.
And if you get
you don't
good
ever,
news,
you don't ever think I'm clearly not doing enough work or the right work. It's not working.
yeah, I mean,
'Cause people-
rationally, you know,
Thin people look at you and be
intuitively,
like,
you
it'd be
should,
super
right?
easy for you to get down to 300. Just switch from Coke to water.
Yeah,
Just something like that.
yeah. I don't even drink sugar soda.
You don't?
Like you saw, I drink diet.
Oh, that's good.
And I don't even have a thing for soda. Like
That's good.
I
Okay.
love Coca-Cola when I'm
Yeah.
in it.
Do you booze a lot?
When I'm in it, no, not anymore. I used to be like recklessly alcoholic.
So it's just straight food. That's your problem?
It's pizza. It's late night eating. I don't really have a sweet tooth. I love Italian food. I love, you know, even though I'm a Jew,
Yeah.
I got Italian taste buds. I love eggplant parmesan, anything parmesan. Give me, you know, any kind of pasta.
And you'll eat a lot of it?
pizza. I guess I'll eat, based on what you eat, you'd probably consider it a lot. To me, it seems like a normal portion.
Do you eat until you're like, oh, I'm stuffed?
No.
You don't ever do that?
No, I mean, Thanksgiving.
That's the only time you do stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's the only time?
You sound. It's not like I'm bullshitting you. It's.
I
not,
do it
I'm not.
once every
I'm not
week or
sitting
two.
here telling you I don't overeat.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that I don't. What I'll do is I'm not going to eat till I'm stuffed. I'll eat till I'm satisfied. Then I'll eat again.
Oh, right.
You know. But it's not. It's not a matter of like let me binge and have the biggest meal right now. It's like let me have more meals than you'd have, or let me eat more like worse things. You know, it's not so much portion at one. It's a big portion spread out over a day.
Right.
You know, so it's still a big portion. It's still more than I should eat. It's just
Instead
not all
of
at
eating
once,
every like 6 hours, you'll eat every 4.
I guess.
Well, do you
I
eat
don't
more
time
often
it.
than most people? How many times a
I
day do you
assume
eat a full
so.
meal? Average broken up over a week, maybe.
I would say no more than 4 ever.
No more than 4 meals.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, people eat 3 meals a day.
I guess.
I often eat 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
I sometimes, probably at least once a week, eat 4
then
meals a day.
And then late at night, you eat too? A bunch?
Love eating late at night.
Does that count as a meal to you?
Yeah, I have my biggest meal late at night, which is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I guess so. Similar to this, too.
That's when I get really hungry. It's probably something that I need to break through with my psychologist about why I get super hungry and probably
Some of it's got to be habitual, right?
it's habitual, and it's also it's really cognitive. It's got to be something that triggers me mentally, that makes me feel an emptiness that I need to fill at night.
Like right then would be the time.
It's like, oh, I feel really empty inside. I gotta numb that feeling with some food right now, and that happens late at night a lot.
Late at night when you're alone or when you're with somebody, it doesn't matter.
I don't think it's dependent on
They
that.
talk about in smoking. They talk about breaking habits being a good way. There's like every time the Truth Campaign now. They're like every time you smoke, you don't have to drink. So why do you have to smoke every time you drink? You know, you're already drinking. Why do you have to have a cigarette now?
It's a poor argument.
When you light up a cigarette, you don't have to get a drink. It's like you can break this habit.
It's a poor argument, though, because alcohol is not as readily accessible to you when you're walking down the street or driving your car. You can't just have a drink.
They'll say that. It's like a lot of people smoke in the car. So it's like you don't have to fucking...
But you can't drink in the car. There's deterrence. It's illegal.
No.
It's
It's a different one. Like you don't have to... you don't have to drive every time you smoke. So why would you have to smoke every time you drive? Break that habit too.
You don't need to drive every time you smoke.
I used to smoke when I talked on the phone first
But
thing.
it
When I talked on
doesn't-
the phone first thing, that was like my habit. I would get into where I would just smoke there. I would smoke here at the Comedy Store. I got here and I'd be like,
It just
this is where I
doesn't make
smoke.
sense that you would want to drive every time you smoke, and it does make sense
No,
that you'd want to
it
smoke
doesn't.
when you drive.
Right.
It does make sense
Why?
because you're driving, you're bored. The boredom can lead to a feeling of depression or emptiness that you need to fill because now you're
How
stuck
about
in
every
a
time I
car
come to the Comedy
and-
Store? How about every
What?
time after you finish eating? How about every time I come to the Comedy Store? There's a habit there that I would like smoke. You smoke in certain places.
Something in the Comedy Store triggers a feeling of either
emptiness?
dissatisfaction in you or emptiness that you feel you
No,
need
that's
to,
not.
you
That's
need
not
to
the way
shut that
smoking is.
down.
It's a chemical addiction.
Well, maybe
It's not a
different
mental
for me.
addiction.
For me, it's mental. I think it's very mental. I'm
The
saying,
eating.
I'm saying I'm a
Yeah.
nutcase. No, yeah.
So what does your therapist tell you?
She tells me that's your time, and we'll continue this next week. You know, we haven't made that breakthrough yet.
Of why you eat?
Yeah, I don't. She tells
That's when
me.
you have to. That's when you have to
She
cry
says,
and
tell
like.
me more. I haven't.
How many times have you been
cried
there?
Yet. I've been going for 2 months.
How every week?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I'm here, I do it over the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's convenient. Way to walk. I feel like mooning these people now.
Do it. For old time's sake, for the
For old
podcast.
time's sake.
You got to do it. I'll do it with you.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Just
They're gonna
because
get out of here too
I want to
fast.
be part of that legacy.
All right. These guys, I'm gonna do it next, guys. He might leave. Just get ready.
Okay.
The next people to pull up, I'll tell you, and then we'll just do it. I'm unzipping all this now. Yeah, he's taking off now.
What about these guys? We could probably still hitting out. They're gone.
Yeah. When it's time, just shove it. It says, "Do not go through this glass."
I just want to be in a situation one time where I'm at a shitty road gig in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, which is a dumb term anyway, but just in
Middle
in
of
some
nowhere.
shitty town, and I'm working with some other comic, and they go, you know Ari? And I go, yeah. They go, you know, we used to moon people at the Comedy Store. And I could be like, I did that with him too.
Once
you
way
know?
later when it wasn't cool.
And then
and
and then a friendship is formed. You know.
now I want to do is we just sit here and write. I'm like, oh, let's moon people. Forgot about that. So
It's a great connector.
You don't have a scale because that makes you feel bad too. I get on the scale every time I go to the bathroom almost. A few
I've
times a
decided
day.
that it's detrimental for me to use it.
And the feeling bad doesn't incentivize you at all to like, okay, I should not fucking eat all this right now. I should eat
Intuitively,
salad.
it should, but it doesn't.
Wow.
It's not. You know, addiction is not a rational thing.
Yeah, right.
So
Like with drugs, you're like, no, this is going to be a bad road. You're like, no, it's just this one time. It's okay. I don't have a job interview till 3 o'clock. It's
Yeah.
only noon. I can do this now.
yeah, I have the intellectual understanding that it should do that for me, but it doesn't.
Right.
My reaction.
You start making
is,
deals with yourself. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll just have. All right, fine. I'll have 3 slices now.
The
but
problem
then
is that I'm a very tough negotiator.
So
the
you
me
can't-
that I'm negotiating with is very good.
so you can't.
It's hard to
a
make
deal.
deals with myself. I'm very good. I'm always looking to get the better deal.
So say what? Like,
When you make deals with yourself, and both sides are great negotiators, it's
Yeah.
very hard to get.
no one's ever coming to anything.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
we always say, okay, look, it's been a good long negotiation. Let's continue this. It's like
Over a
it's like
slice
the
of
peace
pizza.
treaty. Yeah,
And you're like, damn it.
it's like the Arabs and Jews. You know, we're a theory of mine is that the reason we never reach peace is because we're both always hunting for that great bargain. And you know,
That's what I used to joke that we're the same in that way.
yeah.
Like it's always what's it called? But they,
Everybody always thinks
they're
I
not
could get a
pulling
little
over.
more. I'm not settling. I can do better.
They hate each other, the Arabs and the Israelis, but they're the same. They'll bargain the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
They'll try anything they can to get $1.
So are you telling me that I'm developing a piece of material that you already do?
No, I don't know. I wasn't saying that. I haven't did it in a long time. I don't care anymore. But like, what was I going to say? Fuck, I forgot. Oh, where's your best pizza in Israel? If you're a pizza head.
In Israel?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, really?
I don't remember.
How long were you there? How long ago?
10 years ago.
And you've already forgotten everything, huh?
Yeah.
I guess
I
I was
never
there
had a great
longer.
memory to begin with. You
Really?
know, certain things are vivid and certain things are blur.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite spot to be in?
I loved it a lot.
Yeah.
In Israel? For
Like
me,
where in a lot? Was there like
like
one, like a specific place? I mean, even.
I felt like that underwater aquarium was like a sanctuary.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, for me, it was a safe place in the world, you know?
Yeah.
It's that warm feeling that you rarely ever get, especially as a comedian, where you just want to feel, you know what, I'm at peace with the world right now. I'm at peace with myself. I wasn't eating much. I was
Oh, really?
I was living healthy.
You were smaller?
I was losing weight. I was smaller to begin
Oh,
with.
you weren't eating as much as you did before
when
you
I
went
was
in.
there,
Yeah.
I was so at peace
Yeah.
that I was eating better. I was losing weight. I was exercising more naturally.
Oh, yeah.
Not forcing myself to, just naturally because I was so happy.
I got obese for a little bit, and it was after I came home from Israel.
Yeah.
And also, you're more active. You have to run around and do stuff. You have to
Yeah.
take the bus places. You have to go places.
That job at the aquarium every morning,
Yeah.
6 a.m., or maybe it was 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
You had to go to the beach and fill giant garbage cans like the kind you have outside your house, the big plastic ones.
Yeah.
Fill them up with sand from the beach, haul them in the fucking hot sun all the way up the beach to the underwater observatory.
That
carrying
sounds like
these
a
things.
lot of work.
My whole shirt
Ugh.
would be dripping wet with sweat. I'd have to then use an underwater vacuum out the sand that existed in the fish tanks, and replace it with fresh new sand so bacteria wouldn't build up. It was a huge workout first thing in the morning, and it made you feel good, you know.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's what exercise does. It was always the worst when I had depression when I couldn't exercise at all.
Yeah.
But it was like, I know that's going to make me feel better, but I can't even get out of bed.
Well, that's how I am.
Oh, really?
I mean, not about getting out of bed, just about approaching exercise. It's like
It's hard.
I understand that it will make me feel better. I just can't get myself
You're
to
like,
do
I'm
it.
not feeling in a good enough mood to go do it.
I just can't get myself
Yeah,
to do
it
it. To
feeds on
make that
itself.
first leap into doing it is harder than doing it. Just wrapping your head around it.
I feel like a lot of people are really a function of their habits. So the habit you get into, if it is working out every day, then it's hard for you not to. And if you don't, then it's hard for you to start. It's just, it's easy to continue.
Right.
In whatever in life.
Any
Like when I started doing
discourse that
comedy,
you're part of, yeah. Any
and I would do open mics once a
trajectory.
week.
Yeah.
I'm like, this feels good. This feels right.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend tell me, it's like, no, you got to do it like as much as you can.
Right.
And then if I didn't get up like 5 or 6 times a week, I'd feel bad.
Just any routine that you can get into.
Oh, here they come. Pull over. Oh, they're not pulling over. Come on, make it a stop.
Any routine you can get into.
Yeah.
Once you're in that routine,
Yeah.
golden.
Yeah, routine. That's what it is.
But it goes back to the old theory about the Palestinians. If you're in a routine, if you're in a world, if you're in a mentality,
Yeah.
to break out of it, that's a difficult thing. And it's not easily attainable. Something has to shake your world.
Yeah.
Make you change.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
So,
I had this one spot that I loved. It was when I was coming back to yeshiva and taking the bus back from like downtown. from
I got to
Ben Huda.
interrupt you for a girl right now.
Yeah.
Tell me about this girl. She's a little overweight,
A little overweight.
but attractive. What do you think?
This is Los Angeles, man. You can't be overweight.
So she's out.
She's not out. I mean, but it's like that's not something I would like work hard for. That's someone I
like
would.
her
That's someone
better.
I would do and not tell my friends. I'd be like, you leave first, and
I like her better than the other ones.
Why?
Maybe it's my own
Attainable?
insecurity and comfort zone.
You
but-
liked her better than the other ones.
Because I feel like she's more of a real person because she has demons.
She's got vulnerability.
Because she's not
She's an eater.
because she's not a fucking statue of a human being.
Yeah.
I feel like she's got feelings and stuff, and that's that's something I can relate to.
I like vulnerability
Yeah.
in
Anyway,
somebody.
what were you saying? There's a certain place that you liked when you were
Oh
in
yeah.
yeshiva.
It's it was on the way back to BMT, in between Beit Vagan and some other neighborhood there. I forgot now, but the buses would come, and they'd have those double-decker buses, and the buses would like, well, even for what this is a single-decker, but as it would come around this hill, like before it would go down to where my yeshiva was, you could just see the entire when it was dark. You see all the lights of Jerusalem.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just great.
Yeah.
There, and I liked being in the front. If you ever, I went back to Tel Aviv a lot, to Petach Tikva, to visit my family on weekends.
Yeah.
Like every other weekend I would go there. And the bus down from the mountains of Jerusalem was like super windy, so they have those double-decker buses, and if you get on fast enough, you can go up front and sit in the front of the double-decker bus.
Yeah.
And like it almost seems like you're driving, but you just like get to look at all that stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking that bus into Jerusalem and out of Jerusalem is one of the coolest. So those two girls over there, there's one thin one and there's one sort of chubby.
I go sort of chubby, and it,
That's great. Then we're gonna get along just fine. We won't get in each other's way.
I go sort of chubby because she's not so overweight that I
We
have
both
that
get to
feeling
go
that I
for
was
what we
telling
think
you
is the hot one.
where you're like, oh, that person's fat. I hate myself because I'm fat. I therefore hate that person.
Yeah.
But she's not fat.
She's not fat.
She's just worn by life a little bit. She's experienced the world in a real way.
You don't think skinny people do that?
I'm sure they do, and I'm just making a stupid judgment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This brownie kicked in for me like 45 minutes ago. I didn't think it was going to be good at all. There was one more question I wanted to hang out with. Oh, was there a language barrier at all for you while you were there? Or did you already know Hebrew?
Yeah, I guess there was.
Why aren't they pulling over? They go so fast now.
They know that
pulled over.
They know now the word got out.
Do they get this feed?
See Lobell's ass. That's probably something.
Did you ever meet Al
ruined my
Lobell?
Hollywood
Do you know
trip.
him?
I think Al Lobell's a genius.
A genius?
I think he's a genius.
How? The comedian?
Al Lobell is one of the most clever, analytical comedians.
What? Really?
And he has
barely
his
know him.
demons,
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, he doesn't walk around presentably, and he makes a bad impression these days on people. And
What do you mean
gets a bad
presentably? He
reputation.
looks like
Patrice O'Neill once asked me.
homelessy?
I told Patrice he was one of my favorite comedians,
Yeah.
and he said, "Well, okay, but fine. Who are your other favorites? Because that will determine whether or not it's a compliment
Right.
that I'm your favorite." He said, "Because if your other favorites are people that I don't respect, then I
It's
really
like,
don't
okay,
care
then I
that
don't
I'm your
care.
favorite."
Yeah. That's fair and
I
combative,
told
just like
him-
Patrice always was for no reason. Someone's giving you a compliment, you got to make a fight out of it. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I told him my other favorites. I don't remember who one of them was. At the time, it might have been Bill Burr,
Yeah.
and he went, "Okay,
I'm sure you like that.
okay."
Yeah.
And I said, "And Al Lobell."
And
he
what did he
goes,
say?
"What the fuck?" He goes, "See, Danny," and then he goes, I said, "Well, let me explain." And I started quoting him some brilliant Al Lobell jokes.
Yeah.
I said, "These are brilliantly written jokes. Tell me anyone who writes
Jokes is good.
a joke
Yeah.
so well, so constructed so well. I mean, he's using false logic sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's still logic, and it's obviously that's why it's funny, but because it's false logic. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's
All I remember
he's so
him- yeah.
clever. And I remember running all these jokes to Patrice, and he's like, "I never heard him do that one. I never did this one." And he goes,
Why,
"You know
does he
what?"
do them wrong?
He goes, "No, he just hadn't heard these Al Lobell jokes. Al
Okay.
Lobell is not good at letting people know about what a genius Al Lobell is."
Yeah.
So I did all this stuff for Patrice, and he goes, "All right, you justified it. It's still a compliment."
My only memories of him, I don't even remember what bits he was doing, but it was for like a year. He was running around Los Angeles getting spots, saying he was doing Letterman in like 2 weeks, and then he would keep getting bumped.
Yeah, he's done so many of them, though.
Yeah, but it was like, wait, you've been going around a year. Where's
Yeah.
this Letterman set already? What the fuck is happening?
Genius.
I guess so. That, and I don't remember what his material was like, if it was good or bad even. I just remember him doing that. And then that and Dice coming up those back steps once to this room and saying Al Lobell was on.
Uh-huh.
And he just goes, about this loud, he goes, "Light this zero." And that was, we're like, all right, light had to go on.
Oh,
There's Dice
man.
on, they go on. We're like,
Well, that's not very nice.
so getting called a zero is one of the worst things you could ever have said about you.
Yeah, but he was talking.
Light
He was
this
talking
zero.
about a brilliant comedian.
No, none of us knew that. None of us ever even watched him.
One of
It's
my
so funny that
favorite
you got
Al-
such a different, like,
Lobell is one of my favorite Lobell jokes.
Okay, here they come. Here they come. Hey, look away,
Okay.
girl.
We're mooning some tourists. It's part of the podcast.
Let's see if I notice this at all. Nothing yet. I think. There's one. See that? Oh man.
Okay, we got him.
That's so stupid. Why does that make me laugh so hard?
Because it's like the most pure form of comedy.
It's been like a decade since I've done that. That's so fun. All right, so when's your album coming out? What's it called? How's it available?
It's coming out on.
Is this your first album?
It's my first album.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
There are parts of it that make me cringe.
I'm
but
sorry.
I think all in all, if you buy it, you'll be happy.
Yeah. What's it called?
It's called Some Kind of Comedian.
Some kind of. What are you? Some kind of comedian? Like from that?
From that. Yeah.
Where's that come from?
I don't know, but I thought it was a good answer. Some kind.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm some kind of comedian. So yeah.
On Stand Up Records.
On Stand Up Records.
I met that guy from Stand Up Records. He's really cool.
He's an incredibly generous person. You know, he came to record me in Glasgow on his own penny.
Oh, you did it in Scotland?
In Scotland, yeah.
Whoa.
And
can they understand you through the lack of accent?
Yeah, yeah.
I met a Scottish comic, and he was like, dude, I couldn't understand a word you were saying for like minutes at a time.
I don't know. That might have just been him.
Yeah.
He brought his own
No,
equipment.
I said that about him, yeah.
I'm going to use a nice Jewish word to describe what he did. He schlepped his own equipment across the world to Scotland, to over the ocean.
Yeah.
And he flew out there.
I feel like mooning everybody else. Yeah, we can talk about Dan as we're doing this. They have people outside.
And he can see through walls.
Yeah.
And he can fly.
Who?
What?
Dan? Oh, go ahead.
Just wanted to see how long I can start changing it. So he came out there. He cares so much about what he does.
Yeah.
That it makes you feel good working with him. Very confident. Like, well, he's so touchy and picky about what he puts on his label.
Oh yeah.
That it makes you feel like, all right, fuck. I guess that is good. You know, it's like a seal of approval because he's such a comedy nerd. You know, he's so passionate about what he does.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I really respect his label, and I'm happy to be on it.
He asked me to do one. I just think I'm going to do it independently, but we'll see. If not, I would do it with him. That's cool. So when's it available and how? Amazon?
You can go on I guess it'll be up on all that stuff.
When's the date it's coming out?
I have to finish the album artwork. I'm doing my own album art.
Oh.
And that's the only holdup right now. So hopefully I'll finish that pretty soon. It'll be out next month.
In March sometime.
It's almost complete. The only thing it's waiting for is the cover art that I'm doing.
Okay. Well, I'll delay this a little bit then.
Yeah. No, don't delay it. It's fine. They can go to Stand Up Records and reserve a copy.
You can do that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go to standuprecords.com. If you don't see a place to reserve it, you can always shoot them an email and say, I'd like to reserve a copy of Danny Lobell's Some Kind of Comedian. And that can be yours to own. And
on Amazon. Do you have a website?
DannyLobell.com. I'm very big into the Twitter because I just realized it's important.
It's fun, sort of.
And I
do it. I like it.
I had it for like a long time, and I was like, I'm going to stick with Facebook like an idiot.
Facebook's going away.
And
comics.
And so now I've been trying to push my Twitter because I realize I'm like light years behind every other comedian in terms of it. So it's at Danny Lobell, DANNYLOBELL. Please follow me.
LOBELL.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will make it a good journey for you.
How many followers do you have?
I think like 800.
800.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Here's how I
just
had
got
that many.
600 though in like this month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned on a few podcasts and a few like radio stations.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, okay. Just mention it. People are like, will think of it.
Okay.
I find. But at 800, like, if you write a joke on there, that's 800 people hearing your joke. I imagine those people in a theater.
Right.
That'd be too big for a club even.
Right.
There'd be 2 shows at Caroline's to get all those people in just to hear this one joke.
That just made me feel really good.
Yeah, where it's like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you think about it like that, it's way
I'm going to
way
start
cool.
writing. I'm going to start being more careful with this shit I put on.
Instead of every little thing.
Because I did Fitzsimmons' podcast, and he was like, all right, let's read some of your tweets.
Yeah.
And he's like, that one's good, that one's good. Okay, that one's a little corny. And
Fitzsimmons will do that,
And I was thinking to myself, yeah, it is a little corny, but who cares? I just put everything on there, but now I'm thinking about it differently. The way
You can still put some corny ones once in a while, but try less.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I'll try and make it pretty good.
All right.
I'll minimize the corny ones. At Danny Lobell on
I do them
Twitter.
too sometimes.
And Al Lobell, I want to tell you an Al Lobell joke that's pretty good.
Okay, tell me.
Al Lobell is at this is an old Al Lobell joke. He says, I'm at a newsstand.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of magazines. And there's a sign that says, do not read. And I pick up a magazine and start flipping through it. And the guy gets angry at me. He goes, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm reading this magazine. He says, don't you see it says do not read? He goes, oh, I thought it meant the sign.
That's funny.
I love Al Lobell.
That's funny. I don't know any of his material at all. We just knew him as like, who's this guy getting spots that Dice hates? And Dice didn't even hate him. He just thought it'd be funny to say that.
I think he has like the record of most late night appearances.
Really?
It might have been broken.
Wow,
but
my memory is that it's so much different. I just remember like, this guy's never going to be on. I didn't even watch Letterman. He probably was on 5 times.
No relation to me. Lobell and Lubell, 2 different people, 2 different families.
Wait, which
2
one's
different
yours?
tribes.
L-O?
Lobell
Okay.
is me. Danny, D-A-N-N-Y.
The one N?
2 N's.
2 N's, okay.
I thought you were getting up, and then I got up, and now you're still sitting down. It's awkward that I got up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're going to finish. So that's it. Do you have anything to say to people? Are you going to go on tour anytime soon?
Be back in the UK in April. Doing
I have UK listeners.
So please, if you're
Where?
in the UK, follow me on Twitter. I'll be tweeting all the shows. I got a ton of shows all over England, Wales, Ireland,
What about America?
Scotland.
I'm bigger in America.
Oh yeah, America don't love me, man. I'm trying. I'm around America. I'll be back in New York doing shows.
Where's your home club
in
there?
March? Stand Up New York.
Stand Up New York. Okay.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah,
and,
cool.
and
I guess they're my home club too.
yeah,
Every like
they're really good to me there.
owner or booker for over the years has been up to these ones too.
It's been consistently good
Yeah.
energy towards me. It was the first club
Really?
I ever did. I thought it was the only club in the universe.
Really?
And
that's all you need, is just
still-
someone to be cool with you.
Yeah.
Just like to let you like, hey, do whatever. So where you can bomb and they won't. I was like, it's all right.
Yeah.
Shitty crowd instead of like.
Once
start
they
giving
like you and
advice.
you're in, you're in. You know?
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure being here. I really appreciate it. It's
No
an awesome
problem.
podcast.
Nice
Thank you
to
for
meet
having
you.
me. The questions are great.
Thanks.
It's been fun hanging out with you.
Thanks. All right. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
All we are saying is give peace a chance. That was the episode, everybody. What did you think? I liked it. I especially liked the part. I wanted to get in more of the fat stuff, but I really wanted to save that for another time. But it's so right there. Fat people are gonna die. That's what's gonna happen to all of them, of heart disease and heart failure and things like that. It's super unhealthy. If you're fat, don't be fat anymore. But I'll get into it another time on another podcast. So if you like Danny Lobell, check out, pre-order, or buy his CD if it's online. Come see me do stand-up wherever you can. And I just want to say this for the cool people who listen all the way through. Shroomfest. Have I said this on this podcast yet? We've named a date. July 21st through the 23rd. If you want to listen to the old Shroomfest episode where we talk about my last experience during Shroomfest, I think it's episode 17. It might not be, but I think it is. Or 18. But here's the deal. Shroomfest is a mushroom festival that I started. It's an international mushroom festival. And how it works is the dates this year are July 21st through the 23rd. That's a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So you pick one of those days, or all of them, whatever you like. But at some point over that time, July 21st through the 23rd, 2012, what you have to do to participate is you have to fly to absolutely nowhere. You can be wherever you are in the world. And what you have to do is you have to take some mushrooms and you have to put them into your mouth and then swallow them. You can do that in a mushroom tea. You can grind them up and put them in pizza. You can just eat them whole and chase them with some salt and vinegar kettle chips. First time I did it, that's how I did them. And then however you want. And then the rest is just up to your body. You just trip out, and that's how you participate in Shroomfest. We got people all over the world last year to do it. Australia, Scandinavia, Finland, Canada, United States. I don't know about Mexico. They don't have the internet there yet. But but I'm sure they did. And if you go on Twitter, just use hashtag Shroomfest, and people are following it. They're talking about it. If you want to find some, go on there. People found each other like shrooms last year that way. Wherever you are, people went to Disneyland. They went to a glacier, like all over England. People did them all over, and it's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. There's no message behind it. I'm not making any money off it. The message is the mushrooms. That's the fucking goal. Just do mushrooms. If you've never done them before, now's your chance. Do them. If you have kids and you're afraid of not being able to watch them while you're doing mushrooms, lock them up in a dog crate and put them in the garage to make sure they don't get hurt, and then do your mushrooms. There's really very little excuse not to do them. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, Ari, I've been looking for mushrooms and I can't find any. Here's what I'm going to say. Be honest with yourself. Be really honest. How hard have you looked? Now, a lot of people say, well, I've asked everybody. Does that mean more than 5 people? Because generally, it doesn't. So really be honest with yourself. Here's what you do. You find your dirtiest friend, the guy who's into the shit, your drug friend. Everybody's got a drug friend. You ask him. Here's what you do. You ask him, do you have any mushrooms I can buy off you? And then he might say no. Then you follow with this question, which a lot of people aren't doing. Hey, do you know anybody that can locate me some shrooms? I want some mushrooms. And invariably, they'll say, oh, yeah, let me make a call or send a text, and I'll let you know. You have to follow up with those people. Those people aren't responsible. Drug dealers, drug addicts, they're not good at getting other people drugs. Well, drug dealers should be, but I live in California where we just do pot from stores, so I don't really know how drug dealers work exactly. But if that guy can't get through, or while you're waiting for that guy, ask the next, slightly less dirty friend if he has mushrooms or if he can find you some. And that's it. You just keep asking people. And just if they don't know, just say, no, I don't know anybody who has. Well, do you know anyone who might know? And they can lead you to someone else. It's super easy. My friend Benji asked me, he goes, dude, I've looked all over for some mushrooms. I can't find any. So I was like, oh, that's bullshit. I was the first guy to come down the steps of the Comedy Store. I was like, hey, do you have any mushrooms? He goes, no. I'm like, do you know how I can get some? He goes, oh, yeah, let me send a text. Then I asked another guy. He goes, oh, yeah, I have some. The next 2 people I asked. So really be honest with yourself. Go out and look for them. Really, really start asking people. When you get them, put them in a Ziploc, keep them in the freezer until July 21st through the 23rd. That's when you're going to do them. And that's how you participate in Shroomfest. Last year was a tremendous success. This year's year 2. We're going even bigger. Make some plans. If you've already done them, try to do them in a different environment. If you've only done them in the city, try to go to the woods. If you've only done them in nature, I don't know, try to walk around on them. You can do whatever kind of dosage you want. You can do a lot. You can do a little. Go to my website, by the way, and I'll have some I'm writing a blog.